Chapter 42-26. This scene caused an uproar in the world. Those from the Acheron Hall stood up and roared at the sky. Damn it, this is impossible. I don't believe it. They must be crazy. Those around them took a deep breath. It seemed like they had to reevaluate this person called Sword Maniac. His strength was far beyond their imagination. Lei Xincheng and those from the myriad demon city looked solemn, while those from the great desolate mansion looked on with flickering eyes. One of the Taoists looked cold. He was Huang Shusan. He said coldly, "A rising star with decent strength, but he's no match for me. My only opponents are Fu Hongye and a few others." He was extremely domineering. On the other side, Wan Jianyi from the Myriad Sword Pavilion was glaring coldly. "Sword Maniac, you better not meet me. Otherwise, I'll let you know who's the real sword expert." Discussions broke out one after another. Those from the Acheron Hall were gritting their teeth so hard that they were about to break. The Silver Corp Saint King said coldly, his eyes were also filled with killing intent. "Don't bother about this kid. He's too powerful. Someone will kill him sooner or later. Let's adjust our strategy." The elders under him started to adjust their strategy. On the other side, Lin Xian left the arena. He didn't target the Acheron Hall in the next few fights. However, Lei Xincheng and the Myriad Demon City were suppressed. Those who died in Lin Xian's hands were in trouble. Many of them gritted their teeth and wanted to kill Lin Xian. At this moment, the sword qi on Lin Xian's body was getting stronger and stronger. A ray of light fell from the sky like an immortal light. It turned into a scroll with the names of all the participants carved on it. Those who failed turned grayish-white, while the others emitted a golden glow. The ranking was based on the number of victories. The higher the ranking, the more victories one had. Lin Xian, Sword Maniac, was also on the ranking. Countless people looked up to him. Most of those who were ranked at the top were sacred venerables. They were all very powerful sacred venerables. For example, Fu Hongye and the others were at the top of the ranking. Wan Jianyi and the others were slightly behind. However, someone exclaimed at this moment. Because they realized that another person's name had changed. He had rushed to the top. He had obtained a dazzling result. 9 Qilin. How did his result become so powerful? That's right. He only had 10 hearts previously. Now, he had 30 stars. Everyone cried out in surprise. They realized that the 9-headed Qilin had won a match, and that person had 30 stars. He had won 30 matches in a row. 9 Qilin's result. The 30 perfect victories that he represented were all given to the 9-headed Qilin. What's going on? Being able to win 30 matches in a row was enough to show that that person was very powerful. That was definitely a saint venerable. But, to think that he would lose to the 9-headed Qilin. 9 Qilin was a genius, but he was a genius sacred venerables. Could it be that he was also a powerful dark horse? Seeing this, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as a cold smile appeared on his face. The 9-headed Qilin might be strong, but it wasn't his turn to shine in the holy heavens. According to his guess, the person who was fighting with the 9-headed Qilin should be an expert that the demon city had secretly trained. At this moment, this powerful being had purposely given the battle results to the 9-headed Qilin. He wanted to push the 9-headed Qilin to a peak so that everyone could look up to it. Artificially created battle records. Lin Xian snorted coldly. As expected, some of the holy cities had already begun to use despicable means. The other holy cities naturally understood this point. Hence, after this incident, several holy cities adopted this method. After all, this was the purpose of secretly nurturing people. For example, Wang Jianyi had won 2 matches in a row, and the 2 people he had defeated were both record holders of 30 consecutive victories. As a result, he now had a winning streak of 60 matches. His ranking instantly skyrocketed, placing him among the geniuses of the previous generation. In fact, he wasn't too far away from Fu Hongye, Wang Shisan, and the others. Countless people started to congratulate him. Many of them laughed and said that the 9th young master was indeed very strong and had unparalleled talent. If this continued, his future achievements would be limitless. That's right. The 9th young master was just a small saint. Once he became a sacred sovereign, his strength would undergo a tremendous change. In the future, we would have to rely on the 9th young master. These people were all followers of the 9th young master. The 9-headed Qilin laughed after hearing this. He was like a supreme immortal god looking down on the world. He made people look up to him. However, at this moment, a cold and mocking voice was heard. Do you really think you're a big shot? Why don't you think about how you got your battle records? Do you have the face to stand in such a position? As soon as the voice was heard, everyone's expression changed. Although they knew that there must be some tricks behind this, they didn't dare to say it out loud. But no one dared to say it out loud. Wouldn't that be slapping the demon city's face? As expected, the faces of the people from the demon city darkened. The 9-headed Qilin snorted coldly. Who dares to talk about me behind my back? Get out here. Let's see if I don't kill you. Is that so? Are you very strong? I'm right here. Try and kill me. On an empty arena, Lin Xian walked up and looked at the 9-headed Qilin. Come on, 9th young master. Your ranking is so high, way higher than mine. I challenge you now. Do you dare? When the surrounding people saw this, they were stunned. Because they realized that the person who came up was the sword fanatic. Heavens, is this death god here again? It can't be. Didn't he go against the Acheron Hall previously? Is he here to slap the demon city's face now? Can he really leave alive after offending so many saint cities? You guys don't know this, right? This sword fanatic killed the 9-headed Qilin when he first came to the heavenly wind world. Now, he's here purely to suppress the 9-headed Qilin. What? Is there such a thing? The crowd was shocked and started discussing. When the 9-headed Qilin saw the other party, his face turned ugly. Damn it. He would never forget this person. He was the one who killed him. To think that he would dare to come out now. Damn it. The 9-headed Qilin gritted his teeth. The eyes of the other powerful people from the demon city lit up. This is great. This is a good chance. Let's kill him quickly. Some of them stood up. Lin Xian was not afraid. Why, 9-headed Qilin, you don't dare to come out. Since you don't dare, you can kowtow to me and beg for mercy. I'll spare your life if I'm in a good mood. Lin Xian's voice was loud and clear. It spread across the world. Even the people at the extraterritorial stand heard it. They took in a cold breath. That's too arrogant. The 9-headed Qilin snorted and said. Your battle record is too low. I don't want to fight with you. Lin Xian laughed when he heard that. My record is low. Yes, I only have a 20-match winning streak now, but so what? This record was won by my own hands, match after match. Among them, I've killed more than 10 Saint Venerables. What about you? What's your battle record? Don't you know how many battles you've won? The person who lost to you is a secret expert that your 1,000 demon city has been nurturing. He pretended to lose to you. Do you really think that you're a peerless expert? Chapter 42-27. Lin Xian's words were filled with disdain. Nine-headed Qilin almost vomited blood when he heard it. The others were shocked when they heard it as well. The people from Demon City snorted. Do you want to die? We'll make sure you die a horrible death today. They were furious because this was something that every holy city had silently agreed to. However, Lin Xian did not know what was good for him. Since he did not follow the rules, there was no need for him to exist. The other experts from the holy city also had cold killing intent in their eyes. They also felt that this was a good opportunity to kill Lin Xian because his winning streak was not very high. He had only won 20 matches. However, half of them were obtained by killing Saint Sovereigns. This meant that the Saint Sovereigns from the Holy City were killed by Lin Xian the moment they attacked. If such a person did not go out, more Saint Sovereigns would fall in the future. The people from Great Desolation Mansion also lost 2 Saint Sovereigns. Hence, their eyes were filled with killing intent. Someone gritted his teeth and said, "Send out our hunters to kill this kid. I don't want to see him again." The other elders also nodded. However, at this moment, a figure stood out. "I don't think we need to do anything. This kid is not ordinary. Let Demon City deal with him." Hearing this, the elders turned their heads. When they saw the figure, they frowned. "Nine Nether, this is not your style of speaking." This man was called Nine Nether. He was very powerful. His original form was an earth dragon. He said, "I know this person. He is more terrifying than you can imagine." "Oh, you know him. Tell us, who is he?" These people were shocked. Until now, they still did not know the identity of this sword maniac. Nine Nether said, "I don't know who he is, but I have seen him in the Grotto Heaven test. He passed the test and entered the vast Grotto Heaven. He can be said to be a top genius." "What? He could enter the secret realm created by the vast Grotto Heaven?" The surrounding people were stunned. This secret realm was not a place that ordinary people could enter. Only top geniuses could enter. For example, Nine Nether had entered. No wonder this sword maniac was so terrifying. He was an expert of this level. Some of the elders took a deep breath. If that was the case, it would not be easy to get rid of this sword maniac. At the very least, it had to be an expert at Nine Nether's level, and there was a risk involved. Therefore, they nodded in agreement. "All right, we'll sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Let the people from the Myriad Demon City make a move." At the same time, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, Limitless Sect, and the others also received the news. Among them, Wan Jinny said, "Old Zhang, don't worry. Although he has also joined that Grotto Heaven, I am not afraid." That was because all the top experts had already become Saint Venerables after coming out, but the other party had not. This shows that his talent is no match for mine. Even if he's lucky enough to not die this time, as long as he meets me, he'll definitely lose. On the Demon City side, Nine Heads Qilin didn't even enter the arena. No matter how arrogant he was, he didn't dare to because he knew that he didn't have the strength to face the other party. Therefore, he would not let the other party continue to live and be arrogant. They sent out a secretly trained expert, who was also a hunter. It was a mysterious figure in a blue robe. He came to the arena, and the blue saber in his hand emitted a piercing light. After coming up, he did not say a word and directly charged towards Lin Xian. With a slash of the saber, the terrifying laws were vast and mighty. It was like a vast ocean, causing the wind and clouds in all directions to change. What a terrifying saber technique! The surrounding spectators' expressions changed when they sensed the terror of this saber. Obviously, this was also an expert, and a Saint Venerable expert at that. Lin Xian sneered. "Nine-headed Qilin, you're really useless. You don't even have the courage to come up. Forget it, then you're not worthy of being my opponent at all. As for this person, he should be a hunter from the myriad demon city. You want to kill me? But that's impossible. He snorted coldly. Thunder surged from his body and surged over from all directions, turning into a huge thunder tiger. It stood indomitable and charged towards the saber light in the sky. As soon as he came up, he used the tiger demon fist. Boom! A terrifying aura erupted. The battle between the two was extremely terrifying. The saber light collided with the phantom of the demonic tiger, tearing apart the 9 heavens and 10 earths. In the next moment, the saber directly split the phantom of the tiger, and then fiercely slashed towards Lin Xian. This person is so terrifying. His strength is above the sword fanatics. It's over. It seems that this sword fanatic is really in danger this time. That's for sure. He recklessly went against the sacred city. His ending will definitely be very miserable. Everyone was discussing animatedly. Lin Xian sneered. Did they send out an even stronger person? He clenched the tiger demon fist and quickly rushed forward. Boom! 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 The army destroyer struck out, causing heaven and earth to tremble. It directly shattered that ray of light. Then, he charged forward and continuously collided with the opponent's saber. Every collision. It was like a lightning tribulation. The killing intent in the blue-robed man's eyes was really terrifying. His saber technique was extremely terrifying. Every slash could split open a world. He and Lin Xian entered the battle. The two of them exchanged more than 30 moves, and they were evenly matched. Suddenly, at this moment, the blue-robed man revealed a sinister smile and changed his saber technique. Endless blue laws erupted from his saber technique and swept towards Lin Xian. See Demon Saber. As his cold voice fell, a blue saber light slashed down from the sky. When it came to Lin Xian's side, it suddenly split open. The violent aura of destruction filled heaven and earth. At this moment, countless large cracks appeared in the entire world and spread towards the surroundings. What a terrifying destructive power. This was a slash of destruction. Countless people gasped. They felt that the sword fanatic couldn't block this attack at all. Murong Qingqing and the others were also nervous. Damn it, the speed of the change of this saber was really beyond everyone's expectations. Even Guan Songhai revealed a look of worry. On the other side, Nine Nether, Wan Jinny, and the others revealed a cold smile. It should be settled. As expected, he couldn't be compared to them. Chao Tianxing looked at this scene calmly. The blue storm in front of him gradually disappeared. In the next moment, countless cracks appeared. However, Lin Xian's figure had already disappeared. The surrounding people were shocked when they saw this scene. Could it be that he was killed? The beasts of the monster city also snorted coldly. Needless to say, he must have been killed. Moreover, his heart and soul were destroyed. Not even a drop of blood was left. This was the result of going against the monster city. Countless people's faces instantly turned pale. He was too strong. The strength of the holy city wasn't something that a single person could provoke. Chapter 42-28. Is it over? How pitifully weak. Unable to withstand a single blow. The blue-robed man sneered as he sheathed his saber. He turned around to leave, but he was stunned the next moment. The reason for that was because he could sense a strange energy appearing in the air. The smiles of the people around him froze. What's going on? What's that energy? They looked around frantically, and they saw a bolt of lightning tearing through the void and walking out from the spatial crack. A dragon's roar that made people tremble rang out. At the same time, there was a cold voice. The show has just begun, and you want to leave already? How is that possible? Countless people looked at the scene, dumbfounded. The people of Demon City exclaimed. It's that kid, he's still alive. No way, the Saint Sovereign would have died from that attack. How could he have survived? That energy is the energy of a dragon. Could he be one of the Dragon Clan's people? What's going on? The people around them discussed among themselves, and many of them looked at the Dragon Clan in the distance. The three Dragons Clan's people also had strange expressions on their faces. To be honest, they did not know who the other party was. However, they did not believe that such an attack could kill the sword maniac. After all, this guy had obtained the blue dragon horn. Is he still alive? Even many of the saint rulers were shocked. To be honest, they had made a mistake in their judgment. What a mysterious person. Liyue Sage King was shocked. Silvercorp Sage King's face turned cold. Sky-soaring Sage King's face also darkened. He transmitted his voice and gave the order to kill. On the other side, Peerless Sage King smiled. He now knew who the person was. Sure enough, his junior brother still came. He did not immediately reveal his true identity, but hid himself to fight against the Sage Kings. Interesting, it's getting more and more interesting. He's still alive. One Jenny, 9 Nether, and the others' faces turned ugly. Damn it, they had mocked the other party for being weak and unworthy of being their opponent. But now, they had made a mistake in their judgment. It was a slap to their faces. This made them very unhappy. The blue-robed man's eyes narrowed. He was very confident in the power of his attack. He didn't believe that there was anyone who could stop him. Even if there was, it couldn't be the person in front of him. However, the other party had survived, and the aura on his body had become even more tyrannical than before. Could it be that the other party wasn't injured before? When he thought of this possibility, his heart was in turmoil. Could it be that he had a top-grade saint artifact for defense? Damned brat, what did you do just now? Was it a Saint King level weapon? You're cheating. The blue-robed man let out a roar, and the others were also in an uproar. The eyes of the people from the Demon City lit up. Yes, that's right, he was cheating. He was asking the referee elder to probe his defense. When these words were spoken, everyone was shocked. Could it be that the other party had really used a Saint King level weapon to defend himself? Hearing this, Lin Xian laughed. I cheated. Truly despicable and shameless. It's fine if your myriad demon city is despicable, but now you actually want to pour dirty water on me. Very well, the 3 judging elders, please. In the sky, 3 elders appeared, and they were divided into 3 sides. Their expressions were incomparably cold. To be honest, they were still very resistant towards Lin Xian. After all, one of the judging elders had already been killed because of Lin Xian. Therefore, when facing the other party, they were very careful. Lin Xian said, "Dare I ask the 3 judging elders? Just now, did you sense a Saint King level aura?" The 3 of them looked at each other, and then one of the elders said coldly, "We didn't sense it." The other 2 nodded. "We also didn't sense a Saint King level aura." "Thank you for upholding justice," Lin Xian said with a fist and palm salute. Then, he revealed a smile. "You heard it, I didn't use any Saint King level saint artifacts. You're just too confident in yourself. You think you can hurt me with your strength? What a joke. I'm not someone you can imagine." Lin Xian's eyes revealed a hint of arrogance. This scene made the blue-robed man vomit blood. Damn it, how could it be? Was the other party's strength already so strong? Damn it, I don't believe it. Blue Ocean One Blade. The blue-robed man slashed out with his long blade. With a clang, between heaven and earth, crazy laws descended. It turned into an even more frightening blade light. Earlier, it had been a destructive blade light. However, at that moment, it was extremely sharp. It was capable of slicing anything in half. Lin Xian snorted and stretched out his palm. It turned black again. Tiger Demon Fist, second style, sky shattering. As soon as his voice fell, the sky fell and the earth cracked. Countless large cracks spread out in all directions with him as the center. It was as if the world was about to end. This scene was really too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than the previous blade. Suddenly, the blue blade light in the sky was enveloped by the cracks, and there was a cracking sound. Then, it was torn apart. Was the peerless blade broken? Countless people were in an uproar. No one expected Lin Xian to be so strong after showing his true strength. How could it be? I must be dreaming. The blue-robed man's pupils shrank. He knew the power of the blade. Even if Lin Xian could block it, he would be injured. However, the other party had easily broken through this set. Why? Are you shocked? Surprised? Lin Xian sneered. Don't worry, the more shocking part is yet to come. At this point, he took a deep breath and threw out a punch. Tiger Demon Fist, third style, soul suppression. Another punch was thrown out. The black fist seemed to have turned into a black tiger. It roared between heaven and earth, and the aura it emitted distorted the void. Feeling the terrifying power surging towards him, the blue-robed man's pupils shrank. The blue-robed man's pupils shrank. Damn it! He frantically retreated, but discovered that it was already too late. He could only passively block and use the long blade in his hands to the extreme. Streaks of terrifying saber light shot out one after another. Every single one of them was as terrifying as heavenly thunder. There were tens of thousands of them in the sky, dancing wildly and slashing towards the sky. The momentum was mighty. It was incomparable. I don't believe that I can't cut it. He roared at the sky. At this moment, it was as if he wanted to open the sky. Boom, boom, boom. However, the Tiger Demon Fist was really too terrifying. It could really suppress everything. The blade lights that filled the sky were all shattered. A shadow of a ferocious tiger pressed down on the blue-robed man. No! The blue-robed man's pupils shrank. He wanted to escape, but it was too late. In the next moment, he was enveloped by the tiger phantom. Boom! The entire ancient arena let out a violent roar. Countless cracks appeared around the arena and spread towards the surroundings. At this moment, the arena was almost split apart, but it endured in the end. The surrounding people were blasted away by the nomological storm. They all held up their holy domains and frantically resisted. Chapter 42-29. When everything disappeared, everyone looked carefully. In the next moment, they saw that there was at least a shadow of a black tiger that suppressed everything. Below it was a seahorse that was close to 1,000 meters long. At this moment, it was crushed into two halves. Blue blood dyed the ground red. The blue-robed man's true form was actually a seahorse. It was unbelievable. Damn it, how could it be? The people of Demon City looked terrible. Many of them stood up and roared crazily. Lin Xian snorted coldly. What, you finally showed your true form? You still dare to say that you're not from Demon City? Damn it, the seahorse kept roaring and trying to break free from the seal. However, it was suppressed. The people of Demon City were also roaring. Damn it, let go of him. Lin Xian glanced at them and said. So you admit that he's from Demon City? The people around were also shocked. That's not right. This guy didn't come from Demon City. I remember that he walked out from the crowd. Yeah, he didn't emit any demonic aura from the beginning. He hid it well. I thought that he was a human expert. That means that he's really from Demon City. And it seems that he was secretly trained. Demon City actually hid such an expert. What's their purpose? Could it be that he's really a legendary hunter? Exclamations and discussions could be heard. The people of Demon City looked terrible. They all came back. An elder snorted coldly. He told the young geniuses to shut up. They were so angry that they gritted their teeth. On the other hand, Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. Why aren't you roaring anymore? Don't you want to save his life? Kid, what are you trying to do? Finally, an elder stood up and said coldly. Lin Xian said. It's simple. I just want to know what's the relationship between him and Demon City. Alright, I can tell you that he's from Demon City. However, we didn't plan to let him participate. So, he hid his identity and came here secretly. We didn't know about it before. Now that I've told you his identity, you can let him go. As soon as these words were spoken, the surrounding people were in an uproar. This person really was an expert from the Demon City. Lin Xian chuckled when he heard this. Very good, he finally admitted it. He waved his hand, and the black tiger phantom roared and tore the seahorse's body into pieces. Even its soul was swallowed by the tiger. The enormous body shattered and disappeared. Damn it, you actually dared to kill him. The elder of the Thousand Demon City was furious, and his body emitted boundless cold killing intent. Lin Xian sneered. Why wouldn't I dare? He killed me, so why wouldn't I kill him? Did I promise you that I wouldn't kill him? Damn, the Thousand Demon City elder was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He realized that Lin Fan really didn't say anything, which meant that he had been conned. Damned brat, just you wait. If there's a chance, I definitely won't let you off. Are you threatening me? Very well, I'm going to go against you guys today. If any of you from the 10,000 goblins dare to come out, I will kill you. I want to see what qualifications you have to threaten me today. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold killing intent. The Soaring Sky Saint King was one of the people who had participated in the hunt for him back then. How could he let the Thousand Demon City off? Lin Xian's voice was incomparably cold, causing everyone's scalps to go numb. The Thousand Demon City elder snorted coldly. How could this brat control the competition? Therefore, they did not care about this at all. However, they soon realized that they had been mistaken. The other party had grasped the laws of wind and thunder, and his speed was extremely fast. No matter who it was, as long as it was someone from the Thousand Demon City, the other party would immediately enter the arena and kill his opponents with the fastest speed possible. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, 8 experts from the Thousand Demon City had died in the hands of the other party. Among them, there were even 2 saints. This caused the Thousand Demon City to go crazy, and their hearts to bleed. The Soaring Sky Saint King's eyes shone with a sharp blade light as he glared at Lin Xian. The void around Lin Xian was shattering continuously. He could feel the might of the Saint King. What? The Saint King wants to strike. Bring it on. Didn't you 3 great sage kings join forces to kill Lin Woody before? Since you can kill a genius once, you can continue to do whatever you want. Lin Xian's voice resonated throughout the entire universe. Come at me. Lin Xian's voice resonated throughout the universe. The Soaring Sky Saint King's face turned cold. He snorted coldly and retracted his gaze. On the other side, the Silver Corpse Saint King's face was also ugly. Damn it. I can't let him continue to be arrogant. Old Zhang from the Thousand Demon City gritted his teeth. They asked who had the confidence to kill him. Everyone thought about it and shook their heads. To be honest, they did not have the confidence. However, at this moment, a figure walked out. I'll kill him. This person's voice was abnormally strong and carried a terrifying power. This was a demonic ape, an earth demonic ape. It had boundless strength and was a mutated species of heaven and earth. His strength had reached the level of a saint. The soaring sky Saint King frowned slightly. According to the information we just received, this person is very strong. He had joined the Grotto Heavens test and even succeeded. I'm afraid his strength is not weaker than Wan Jianyi and the others. Hearing this, the surrounding elders of the Thousand Demon City sucked in a breath of cold air. Was the other party so strong? No wonder he could kill so many experts. The earth demonic ape frowned as well. However, he still said, I have some confidence. After knowing that Lin Xian's situation was so terrifying, this fellow still wanted to make a move. One could imagine how terrifying his strength was. However, the Sage King shook his head. Don't make a move first. There's no need to reveal our trump cards in advance for this fellow. Let's wait. Following this, the Thousand Demon City side actually did not send out anyone. This truly shocked everyone. Could it be that the Thousand Demon City was afraid? One person was actually suppressing a saint city. If they did not see it with their own eyes, they would not believe it. Lin Xian also did not make a move. He even stared at the Thousand Demon City side. As long as the other party made a move, he would immediately make a move. Being entangled by such a person, the Thousand Demon City felt very sullen. They were probably already the laughing stock of the world. Damn it. Those people gritted their teeth. The soaring sky Saint King's eyes were also cold. To be honest, he thought that the other party would tactfully leave to provoke the other saint cities. That way, they could send out people to fight. However, it seemed like the other party was really going against them. He did not participate in any battles and only stared at them. It was useless no matter what he did. He really did not know what was good for him. Then, I'll play with him. The soaring sky Saint King coldly snorted. He called Sikong Lai over and let him go. Hearing this, the elders were stunned. Was the Sage King going to use his trump card? No matter, he had to use it anyway. This matter was also a difficult opponent. It was best to let Sikong Lai take action. This way, the world would know the consequences of offending the Thousand Demon City. Those elders nodded. Then, they opened a spatial gate and walked in. Not long after, they came out. A young man followed behind them. This person had a pale face and wore a black robe. He had a cold smile on his face. His long and narrow eyes shone brightly. Is it my turn to go on stage so soon? Chapter 42:30. This time, there's a reckless guy who dares to provoke us. He has already killed many saint sovereigns and has set his eyes on us. He has disgraced our sacred city. Go down and kill him. Hearing this, Sikong Lai was stunned. There's such a guy. Who is it? Fu Hongye, Wang Shisan. He frowned slightly. In his opinion, only such a person could give the sacred city such a headache. However, the elders shook their heads slightly. No, it's not him. That guy. He pointed at a figure in the distance. So young. Sikong Lai frowned slightly. The next moment, he was even more stunned. Old man, are you sure? This guy isn't even a saint sovereign. Indeed, he isn't. However, He has already killed 4 of our saint sovereigns and 10 peak minor saints. All of them died in his hands. Do you think he's weak? Sikong Lai took a deep breath. He's so powerful. I finally know why I summoned him. I know. Leave it to me. Sikong Lai nodded. The next moment, he floated forward. Look, someone from the demon city has come out again. It seems like they're not going to tolerate it anymore. Countless people exclaimed. Everyone's gazes shifted over. Lin Xian also flew up. Again. Is he courting death? He landed on the arena, looked at the figure in front of him and shook his head. Get lost. You're too young. You're no match for me. Kid, you're very arrogant. No one has ever dared to talk to me like that. However, you're too reckless. You'll die if I attack you. Then, he rushed forward. Lin Xian snorted and threw out a punch. It directly enveloped Sikong Lai. The next moment, a thunderous sound was heard. Sikong Lai's body was blasted away. It can't be. He's killed in one move. The surrounding people were stunned. What's the demon city doing? Why did they send such a weak person? Could it be that they were planning to wear down the sword fanatic by taking turns to tire him out? The surrounding people were also discussing. Lin Xian was also stunned. It shouldn't be. What the hell is the demon city doing? The next moment, he was stunned. The others exclaimed. Look, what's that? They saw that the body that had been split into 4 pieces did not die. Instead, it quickly reassembled, and then 4 figures stood up. Every one of them looked like Spacetime Hunter, and the other party had actually split into 4. Was it a doppelganger? Many people cried out in alarm. This wouldn't do either. This type of doppelganger couldn't be resisted at all. After the 4 of them came out in an instant, they charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian coldly snorted and threw out another punch. However, in the next moment, he was surprised to find that the strength of these 4 people was actually the same, blocking his attack. However, his power erupted and blasted the 4 of them away once again. This time, even more figures stood out. 4 of them were split in half. In other words, all 8 of them stood up. What was going on? A few holy city elders cried out in alarm. This wasn't a clone, but rather a split. Every time his body was destroyed, he would be able to form a completely new body. Could it be that he was the Spacebreaker beast? When these words were spoken, the other elders were also shocked. They had long heard that there were thousands of demons in the Thousand Demon City, and it was incomparably strange. There was a type of demon beast that had this kind of splitting ability, called the Spacebreaker beast. Now it seemed that it was this person. The Spacebreaker beast could form a new body when its body was injured. It was simply immortal and indestructible. Indeed, it was basically impossible to kill it. As long as a bit of its flesh and blood was left, it could fully grow and instantly recover. Unless one's strength surpassed everything and could destroy the Spacebreaker beast completely, not leaving a single drop of blood. However, in order to do this, one had to be an extremely terrifying existence. At least a peak Saint Venerable or Saint King. It was impossible for such a person to appear on this battlefield. For a moment, everyone cried out in alarm, not knowing how Lin Xian was going to block it. Lin Xian also frowned. A Spacebreaker beast, huh? The other party's bloodline was really strange. Sikong Lai revealed a smile and said, "Useless brat, this will only increase my strength." Is that so? Of the 8 of you, one must be the main body, right? If I kill your main body, won't you die without a doubt? Lin Xian's eyes shone with a trace of shocking light. In the next moment, his gaze became dim. However, he soon discovered that the 8 of them did not have a main body at all. Their main bodies and clones were all the same. This made him frown. Were they all the same? Were there really no clones? Sikong Lai, who was opposite him, laughed loudly. How could this brat have already found out? Indeed, any one of me can be the main body. What can you use to kill me? Everyone was stunned when they heard this. He was too strong. He was really immortal and indestructible. How could there be such an existence? Unless there was a heaven-defying difference in cultivation. However, Spacetime Lai was a saint venerable, and Lin Xian was only a small saint. The difference between the two of them could not be made up. Now that he had such a bloodline, it was impossible to defeat him. It seemed that the sword maniac had really lost this time. Yes, but with the sword maniac's strength, it was still possible for him to escape now. However, failure was inevitable. With this failure, the sword maniac would have the Spacebreaker beast to hunt him down in the future. He would soon be eliminated. Discussions sounded one after another. They did not expect the tables to turn. The sword maniac fell into a predicament so quickly. However, they still underestimated the determination of the Demon City. Not only did they want Lin Xian to fail, but they also wanted to kill Lin Xian completely. In the arena, 8 spacetime hunters took action, attacking Lin Xian from 8 directions. Lin Xian quickly dodged. However, 8 against 1, he could not dodge in the end. He could not easily use the void escape. So he had no choice but to slap out with his palm. The Azure Dragon Seal instantly sent a few of them flying, and new people appeared from the broken bodies. In the end, there were already hundreds of figures standing in the arena. Each of their auras was incomparably strong. It made people's scalps tingle. The more they fought, the stronger they became. How could they fight? Boy, tremble and despair. This is the result of daring to go against the Demon City. The spacetime hunters walked over with a sinister smile. More than 100 figures covered the sky and earth. Lin Xian's expression was cold. Kill. With a roar, he formed a seal with his palm. Between heaven and earth, thunder filled the air, completely enveloping the entire space. He did not believe that he could not kill his opponent this time. The people who were pierced by the thunder quickly changed, and in the end, there were more than 10 million of them. Damn it, even the thunder could not kill them. Lin Xian's face was completely gloomy. Now it seemed that only the power of the great dragon sword soul could be used. However, if he could not hit them in one strike, it would be useless. After all, any body could continue to split, which meant that he had to think of a way. He had to catch them all in one fell swoop. Otherwise, he would be in danger. Chapter 42-31. In everyone's opinion, Lin Xian was doomed. In fact, Lin Xian had indeed fallen into an extremely dangerous situation. However, he did not panic. At this moment, he was accumulating his strength. He wanted to defeat all of his opponents in one fell swoop. Facing thousands of figures, he fought and retreated. It seemed that he could not hold on any longer. However, a trace of golden light flickered in his eyes. He was using his ocular technique, but he was secretly using it. Moreover, it was not very powerful. He wanted to subtly influence his opponent's soul and not let him discover it. Now that his opponent had the upper hand, he must be very arrogant. He wanted to make use of this point to make the other party arrogant to the extreme. He wanted to make his opponent completely crazy. As expected, seeing Lin Xian retreating, Sikong Lai's lips curled into a sinister smile. Kid, go to hell. Thousands of figures all rushed over, completely enveloping Lin Xian. The entire arena was also completely covered. These figures seemed to have turned into locusts, lying on Lin Xian's body, and began to madly absorb Lin Xian's power to strengthen these figures. Lin Xian could not move. He could feel his power draining away, but he smiled. Great, it's finally working. These people all rushed over without a care for anything else. In the next moment, the light flickered. The great dragon sword soul roared and countless sword chi formed a sword Dao world. It directly enveloped these people completely. Pft, pft, pft. In an instant, those figures were attacked and their bodies cracked. However, the sinister voice said, "It's useless. You can't kill me. You'll only make me more and more." Lin Xian did not say anything. He activated the great attack sword soul with all his strength and slashed wildly. Gradually, Spacetime Hunter's expression changed. Damn it, what's going on? He found that his figure had fallen into a pool of blood. Before he could reform a new body, he was destroyed again. Moreover, these sword chi carried a biting cold aura that prevented those wounds from healing. He found that his figure was gradually decreasing. Damn it, his opponent still had such a biting cold sword chi. He wanted to retreat. However, he found that the entire sword Dao world had already enveloped everything. He had no way out. What shocked him even more was that his entire body had entered the sword to the world. Not a single part of him was left behind. How could this be? He couldn't believe it. No matter how arrogant he was, he would still be careful and leave one of them outside just in case. But now, he didn't stay. This was too surprising. Damn it, what's going on? When he saw the strange light in Lin Xian's eyes, he knew he was in trouble. You used an eye technique on me. That's right. Looks like you're not that stupid. I did use an eye technique on you. Therefore, you won't be able to escape. Damn it, I'll fight you to the death. Spacetime Hunter roared. Since he had no way out, he could only fight with his back against the wall. Countless terrifying laws appeared on his body, and the remaining figures charged over together. However, Lin Xian snorted coldly. Everything was over. Endless sword chi exploded, and everything was over very quickly. Everyone was wiped out, and their blood was wiped out by him. Not a single drop of blood flowed out. At this moment, the terrifying spacebreaker beast was completely slain by him. The spectators outside were also stunned when they saw this scene. They only saw countless figures pouncing toward Lin Xian, and then sword chi surged out of Lin Xian's body, completely enveloping the entire arena. After that, they couldn't see anything. What kind of battle had happened? How was it? The people from the demon city sneered. How dare you question the strength of the lashing spacebreaker beast? You really don't know what's good for you. Indeed, they weren't worried at all. Only those old monsters could kill the lashing spacebreaker beast. No one in the younger generation could do it. But when the sword chi that filled the sky disappeared, the surrounding people were stunned. What was going on? They found that there was only one person in the arena, and that was Lin Xian. Spacetime rift, then where did he go? No way, did he hide? Exclamations rang out. The people from the demon city were also shocked and doubtful. They roared. Kid, where did you take Lai? Hearing this, Lin Xian smiled. He had already been sent to hell. What? That's impossible. Everyone was stunned. The people from the demon city were even more shocked. Soaring Sky Saint King also opened his eyes. His gaze was rarely seen in all directions as a huge soul pressure pressed down on them. It seemed that he was searching, but not long after, his expression became incomparably ugly. What was going on? He really couldn't sense Spacetime Lie's aura. Could it be that he was really killed by him? The three referee elders also descended from the sky and began to search the surroundings. Then, they said that Spacetime Lie's life was unknown. This battle was won by the sword maniac. His life was unknown. Everyone gasped. That was a spacebreaker beast. It could split into countless bodies. How could he disappear? Now that he wasn't here, there was only one possibility, and that was that he had been killed. Not even a drop of blood was left. Thinking of this possibility, everyone's scalps went numb. What kind of method did this sword maniac use to be so powerful? Great! Murong Qingqing, Shen Jingqiu, and the others all heaved a sigh of relief. Wan Jianyi also frowned. The other party's sword chi was so strange. As an expert of the sword Dao, he felt a sense of threat. The people of Demon City were completely stunned. I'll fight it out with you. Many people rushed out. Lin Xian sneered. Fine, I'll send you to hell together. These people stopped in midair. They didn't dare to fight with the other party at all. For a moment, they couldn't advance or retreat. They were in an abnormally sorry state. A bunch of trash. You don't even have the courage to fight with me. Get lost. Lin Xian roared and looked disdainfully at the surroundings. Everyone returned. Flying Sky Saint King coldly shouted, all the people of Demon City had returned. After that, they didn't make another move because this time, they were truly frightened. Originally, even the Divine King thought that the Spacebreaker Beast's attack was absolutely foolproof. But now, the Spacebreaker Beast was actually killed. Were they going to send out a stronger trump card? They weren't confident. So for a period of time, the people of Demon City seemed to be asleep. No one spoke, and no one attacked. A man and a sword suppressed Shin Chang's head. This was probably the first time in history. The surrounding Demon City's people also had solemn expressions. Until now, they still didn't know which faction this person belonged to. However, the other party's methods were too terrifying. Demon City was actually afraid of him. As for the other Demon City's people, many of them also died in the hands of the other party. However, everyone realized that the other party didn't attack all the Demon City's people. Instead, he attacked a few Demon City's people. Could it be that this person had a grudge with those Demon City's people? In an instant, they thought of a possibility. Chapter 42-32. Could it be that this matter was really related to Peerless City? Everyone started guessing. Wushuang City dares to go against us. The Acheron Palace's Silver Corp Sage King received the news and his eyes flashed coldly. Looks like it's time for us to send our hunters to teach Wushuang City a lesson. They sent out their own hunters. Even the Great Desolate Mansion sent out their hunters. In an instant, these hunters moved in the dark, keeping an eye on Wushuang City. Soon, someone exclaimed. Wushuang City also felt the pressure. People like Shibufan and Wang Xiaofeng from Stillwater Sky City were being hunted. Retreat quickly. Fu Hongye shouted coldly, telling them not to fight back. These people had no choice but to retreat. Even Ghostly was severely injured by a slash. In an instant, countless people were in an uproar. They could see that someone was targeting Wushuang City. Lin Xian naturally saw it too. A cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes. These people were so reckless. It seemed like he had to continue. But before that, he had to do something because he had killed a lot of people. Therefore, at this moment, he had a lot of winning streaks. He had won 50 matches in a row. This was an equally dazzling record. So once he appeared, he would be targeted by countless people. Although he was confident in himself, this was a Dao debate after all. There might be a terrifying expert. So Lin Xian decided to give away his winning streak first. Lin Xian's eyes flashed, waiting for an opportunity. Soon, he sent a message to Murong Qingqing. Murong Qingqing smiled and walked down, while Lin Xian went up. In the surroundings, those people were all stupefied when they saw this. It couldn't be, right? This guy was actually going to make a move against the favored daughter of heaven. Even the people from Demon City were stunned. This guy was going to attack Kunlun Pavilion. It shouldn't be. Wasn't he from Wushuang City? Could it be that their judgment was wrong? The people from Kunlun Pavilion were also stunned. But soon, they widened their eyes in disbelief. After Lin Xian went up, he said calmly. So it's Fairy Murong. I've heard of your name. Now that I've met you, you're really amazing. I hope that fairy will show mercy. Murong Qingqing threw out a palm strike. Lin Xian didn't resist and immediately retreated. Fairy's palm strength is so good that I am ashamed of my inferiority. Then, he turned around and walked down the arena. Everyone was dumbfounded, and I cursed the heavens. What was the meaning of this? Was he admitting defeat just like that? Damn it, he was giving away his winning streak. Some of the sacred cities instantly understood what was going on, and they gnashed their teeth in anger. They couldn't say anything. They were willing to do this kind of thing. Moreover, Lin Xian made them vomit blood. Lin Xian said, I learned it from Wan Yaoqing. The people from the demon city were about to go mad with anger. Just like that, Murong Qingqing obtained Lin Xian's 50-match winning streak and instantly entered the 100-match winning streak. This was a very difficult task. After all, everyone here was an expert and a genius. A 50-match winning streak was already heaven-defying. A 200-match winning streak could be said to be a legend. At this moment, Murong Qingqing completed a 100-match winning streak. She was the first to do so. In an instant, countless people looked up to her. Damn it, we have to speed up. Wan Jianyi too, hurry up and get the hunters to come back and give him his winning streak. He also wanted to achieve a 100-match winning streak. The Great Desolate Mansion, Lei Shinqing, and Acheron Hall were the same. The battles became even more intense. Lin Xian didn't have any more winning streaks. His eyes shone with a cold light. Very good, it was time to start hunting again. This time, his target was Acheron Hall. This time, he was going to beat Acheron Hall into submission. Murong Qingqing returned to the place where the Kunlun Pavilion was located with 100 consecutive victories. The elders of Kunlun Pavilion were also confused. Qingqing, do you know that person? To be honest, they naturally knew that they were giving away their winning streaks. Murong Qingqing smiled and said, maybe I know him. The elders of Kunlun Pavilion didn't ask further. After all, it was a good thing for them. On the other side, the people of Wushuang City were also surprised. Who is this person? Why do I feel that he is on our side? Wushuang Sage also smiled mysteriously. He didn't say anything because he felt that it wasn't the right time yet. However, when he looked down, he frowned. He said, you guys should pay attention. The hunters from Sacred City have already made their move. If you encounter an extremely strong enemy, you must protect yourself. Losing 1 or 2 matches isn't scary. The people of Wushuang City also looked serious. Indeed, they had suffered a fierce attack previously. Some of the genius disciples of the 3rd generation had also lost. Even some of the disciples of the 2nd generation had been affected. At this moment, an earth-shattering sound suddenly erupted from the distant battlefield. Terrifying energy swept out in all directions. It attracted everyone's attention. When the people of Wushuang City saw this, their faces changed. Not good, it's junior sister Shen. Damn it, are these people attacking again? They realized that an extremely cold aura had suddenly exploded from the battlefield where Shinjingqiu was. Two white bone claws covered the sky and covered the earth. They could tear everything apart as they suppressed Shinjingqiu. Junior sister Shen was in danger. Fu Hongya and the others' eyes instantly turned red. They had already lost Lin Xian. They couldn't let Shinjingqiu be in danger. In an instant, they rushed to the side, but they couldn't enter the arena. After all, there were rules in the competition. Lin Xian naturally noticed this scene. He was still thinking about who to attack, but now he saw someone attacking Shinjingqiu. A cold murderous intent appeared in his eyes as he walked closer. The person who was attacking Shinjingqiu was extremely skinny. He looked like a skeleton. At this moment, two white bone claws appeared. They had a cold aura that drowned everything. This person was so strong. Countless people were shocked. They didn't expect such a terrifying expert to be hidden in this battlefield. Lin Xian also frowned. Indeed. This person was much stronger than the average sacred artifact. Moreover, he was using a secret technique. He could feel that this person was crazy. He didn't hesitate to destroy his own foundation to attack Shinjingqiu. In the sky, four white-boned claws appeared at the same time and forced Shinjingqiu back. The terrifying power made people's hearts palpitate. Shinjingqiu steadied herself. There was a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth, but a Dharma appearance appeared behind her. It was surrounded by chains of the great Tao. It was as if an ancient deity had been resurrected. This battle had attracted the attention of countless elders in the holy city. Even the saint rulers had opened their eyes. They stared at the Dharma appearance that day. Many of them were puzzled. Over at the Acheron Hall, the Silver Corp Sage King's eyes lit up. She was indeed mysterious to be able to summon such a phenomenon. From the looks of it, her fortuitous encounter was not small. However, it was a pity that she was going to lose this time. Lin Wudi was already dead. There was no need for anyone related to Lin Wudi to live in this world. They could all go to hell. In the arena, the white bone claws shone again. Blood dripped from the corner of the skinny man's mouth. His body was swaying. Chapter 42-33. Not good. Shinjingqiu is in danger. Everyone exclaimed. Lin Xian transmitted his voice to Qiu. Retreat quickly. Shinjingqiu wanted to launch an attack to defend herself. But when she heard Lin Xian's words, she retreated without hesitation. The cosmic form behind her stretched out two palms to block in front of her. It was like two mountains blocking all the attacks. Shinjingqiu was pushed back and spat out another mouthful of blood. But she had already left the battle area. She actually left. Many people were shocked. Even the people from Wushuang City were discussing. They were also worried. They did not expect Shinjingqiu to retreat. She was so decisive. The people from Acheron Hall were left with a grim expression. Damn it. They did not manage to keep her here. It was a pity. But her cosmic form was indeed out of their expectations. There was no hurry. There were plenty of chances. They had already figured out her strength this time. They would not let her escape next time. The Silver Corp's Holy King said coldly. On the other side, the four skeletal hands returned to the man's body. The man's face was pale. He stared at Shinjingqiu and revealed a cold smile. You actually escaped this time. The next time I meet you, I will kill you. Hearing this, the people from Wushuang City turned pale. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Next time. Do you think you can live until the next time? A terrifying sword intent was released from his body, causing everyone to be frightened. The skinny man was stunned. But then he laughed. Don't you know the rules here? You can't fight outside the arena. Try attacking me. I can guarantee that you will die miserably. He walked down the arena. He came to Lin Xian's side with a hint of provocation. Kid, I will not give you the chance to attack. Is that so? Lin Xian laughed. Do you really think that I am willing to attack you? When you attacked previously, you exploded with power that surpassed everything. It has already burned your foundation. You are destroying yourself. Trash like you is not worthy of me attacking you. However, I've already guessed your background. If I let you witness the fall of your Acheron Hall's peerless genius, I'll be able to kill you. I don't know how you feel about it. At this point, Lin Xian turned around and walked away. People of Acheron Hall, you're dead meat. Do you want to die? A terrifying killing intent erupted from the skinny figure's eyes, but he was unable to make a move. Lin Xian smiled. Looks like you know the rules very well. You won't be able to stop me outside the arena. Damn it, he had said those words to prevent the other party from attacking him. Who would have thought that he would end up slapping his own face? The skinny man was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. The people around him were really surprised. Heavens, looks like this sword maniac is going to attack the Acheron Palace. Does he think that our Yellow Springs Hall is a pushover? When the people from Acheron Hall heard this, they snorted coldly as well. Since the other party dared to come, they had a way to get rid of him completely. Lin Xian arrived near the Yellow Springs shop and said coldly. Come on, you bunch of despicable and shameless people. Is there anyone who dares to come out and stand with yours truly? I heard that there's someone called Nine Nether in your Yellow Springs shop. Get out here. The moment these words came out, everyone was speechless. Was this a challenge? They wondered if the Acheron Hall would reply. Who was Nine Nether? He was a stranger. Some people were surprised. However, some of the top experts narrowed their eyes. They knew this person. His strength was unparalleled and extremely terrifying. He had even participated in the test of the paradise and succeeded. He had even broken through to the Saint Realm. A person like this was far from those Saint Realm saints from before. The sword maniac was challenging someone like this right from the start. When the elders of Acheron Hall heard this, they were enraged. Nine Nether stood out. You don't know what's good for you. Challenging me. That's good. It's time for me to show off my strength. After saying that, he flew forward. The Silver Corpse Saint King did not stop him. He felt that Nine Nether would not be defeated. He knew Nine Nether's strength very well. Nine Nether's true form was an earth dragon. He had entered a few ancient ruins and obtained many powerful trump cards. There were not many people who could defeat Nine Nether. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Following that, a figure landed on the arena like a comet. He waved his hand. Get up here and die. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You actually dare to come out. This is really beyond my expectations. Looking at your identity and strength, you should be a top genius of the Acheron Hall. If you die, I wonder what the Acheron Hall's reaction will be. I'm looking forward to it. The two of them faced each other head-on. Their auras were extremely terrifying. The moment they appeared, the laws on their bodies tore the 9 heavens apart. Countless cracks appeared. Sword Maniac, you are very strong because you have also participated in the test of the paradise. Unfortunately, your strength and talent are nothing in front of me. I have successfully broken through to the Saint Realm, but you haven't. This is the difference between us. Is that so? I didn't break through to the Saint Realm because I don't need the cultivation of a Saint Realm to kill you. I can also kill you as a small saint. Lin Xian's body emitted an extremely terrifying aura. Countless sword qi revolved around the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It was an extremely spectacular scene. On the other side, 9 Nether also made his move. An endless cold aura appeared behind him. It was as if he had rushed out from the netherworld. He turned into 5 demonic shadows, flickering in the sky. These 5 demonic shadows were extremely terrifying. They were like dark clouds that covered the 9 heavens. The 5 demonic shadows roared, shaking the heavens and splitting the earth. Then, they quickly charged over. How terrifying! Why do I feel that he can kill a Saint Realm expert with just a casual attack? Everyone was shocked. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Get lost. With a roar, thunder surged on his body. Accompanying it was the sound of a dragon. It was as if a sea dragon had been resurrected. At this moment, the bodies of the surrounding people trembled. Their blood and qi froze. The 3 dragons in the distance also sucked in a breath of cold air. Their opponent's dragon roar had shocked them. At the same time, the 5 demonic shadows in the sky split open one after another. They turned into dark clouds and rolled up. A dragon's roar had destroyed an ultimate technique. It was really unbelievable. Lin Xian took a step forward and sneered. Don't embarrass yourself with such insignificant skills. Show me your true strength. Otherwise, you will die a horrible death. Why is this kid so strange? That's the Acheron Palace. Some of the elders frowned. These 5 demonic shadows were extremely terrifying. Even the elders had to be careful when facing them. However, they were shattered by the opponent's roar. How strong has he become? 9 Nether's face sank. His eyes were burning with black flames. Interesting. Your strength is beyond my imagination. It seems that I have to take you seriously. Yi Shiwen thought. I hope you won't disappoint me. 9 Nether sneered. A terrifying aura surged out from his body. Chapter 42-34. Endless demonic runes surged out of his body. 9 Gloom roared as if he was wearing a layer of ancient armor. A terrifying aura spread in all directions. In the next moment, he seemed to have turned into the god of war. What kind of armor is that? But it doesn't look like it. Why does it feel like a super strong physique? What is Netherworld's original form? Isn't he an earth dragon? Why does he have such a physique? Sounds of discussion rang out. They all felt that this physique was very strange. This doesn't seem to be a cultivation technique of the Acheron Hall. Some people were surprised. In the legends, earth dragons could travel through the earth and had been to many ancient ruins. He had many trump cards in his hands, so this might be a supreme superpower that he obtained from an ancient ruin. Kid, do you think you can win against me with that little bit of strength? What a joke. I'll let you know how powerful I am. 9 Gloom's aura surged like the sea. Then, he stretched out his palm and slapped forward. Boundless black flames danced, blotting out the sky and covering the earth. It was like the palm of the king of hell, covering the sky and covering the earth. 9 Gloom flames. How terrifying. Many people trembled when they felt the cold flames. Flames usually had a violent and scorching aura, but the 9 Gloom flames were cold. Wherever it passed, it would freeze everything. Lin Xian was tense. He knew that the other party was an expert, so he didn't let his guard down. A pair of dark golden wings appeared on his back, surrounded by a terrifying storm. At the same time, there was a terrifying sword chi that pierced through the sky. Every sword chi was like a divine sword. It was extremely terrifying. At this moment, he had turned into a sword god. Kill! He charged forward, turning into a wind shadow and disappearing instantly. When he reappeared, a sword chi flashed between heaven and earth and slashed directly at the black palm. Buzz! Sword-wielding technique. The sword chi swept in all directions. The black flaming palm stopped abruptly and enveloped the sword chi in the sky. In the next moment, a sonorous sound rang out. The two types of laws and superpowers clashed continuously. The wind and clouds changed. Poof! Poof! The black palm covered everything and swallowed all the sword chi. However, not long after, it kept trembling and cracks appeared on it. A stream of sword chi pierced out, riddling the palm with thousands of holes before shattering it. How could this be? Nine Nether's pupils shrank. Even after he used the nether body, he still couldn't resist his opponent's divine ability. What kind of sword chi was this? His face was incomparably cold. At this moment, the golden wings on Lin Xian's back flapped once more, and he turned into a bolt of lightning that shot over. At the same time, he slowly formed a seal with his palm. Azure Dragon Seal. The phantom of an azure dragon emerged from his palm and roared between heaven and earth. As he breathed in and out, it was as if he had been resurrected. Dang Nine Nether did the same. Once again, he waved his nine nether palm. It collided with the dragon's shadow, and a rumbling sound rang out. After a violent collision, Nine Nether was forced back. Blood trickled down from the corner of his mouth. His body also landed heavily on the ancient arena, causing it to shake non-stop. You dare to hurt me. You're courting death. Nine Nether was thoroughly enraged. Previously, he was so high and mighty. In his opinion, he had successfully broken through to the Saint Venerable realm. How could a mere minor saint be his match? Therefore, he was disdainful. However, he was at a disadvantage in both exchanges. Even now, he was injured by his opponent. He couldn't bear it. The surrounding people were all stunned. How could this be? Was his opponent so strong? The people of Yellow Spring Palace shook their heads frantically. Impossible. It must be Nine Nether's carelessness. Just wait and see. That brat will definitely be torn into pieces. Nether Spear. The boundless Nine Nether flame danced and turned into a long spear that was held in Nine Nether's hand. Wherever the spear passed, the space would constantly crack, as if it had turned into the abyss of hell. The long spear continued to thrust out, turning into a bottomless abyss that charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian waved the azure dragon 9 palms. The terrifying phantom contended with it, and the battle between the two was earth-shattering. However, at this moment, on the other side of the arena, which was behind Lin Xian, the void suddenly split open, and a white bone claw suddenly fell. That white bone claw turned into a heavenly blade and slashed towards Lin Xian. The dark golden phantom wings on Lin Xian's back were cut off. This attack landed on his body and sent him flying, injuring him and causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. He felt a burning sensation on his back, as if half of it was about to split open. Fortunately, he had a divine body, so he was able to block this attack. Otherwise, if it were any other sacred venerables, they would probably be split in half instantly. He was able to block it. Nine Nether's face darkened when he saw this scene. The other people exclaimed. They were too strong. They couldn't block the means of these two people at all. Just looking at it made their scalps tingle. The people of Yellow Spring Palace sneered. Just wait and see. Nine Nether would soon use all kinds of secret techniques. This brat wouldn't be able to block it at all. This was just the beginning. Lin Xian was also enraged. He stepped on lightning and transformed into a beam of sword light, charging over as well. It was the Azure Dragon seal again. It also carried the power of thunder and charged towards the other party with a violent aura. The two of them fought at lightning speed. It was impossible to see clearly. One could only see the sky full of laws and spatial cracks dancing in the air. At this moment, the void behind Nine Nether suddenly split open. A sword shadow flew over and slashed Nine Nether's body. Nine Nether was sent flying. The battle armor on his body was split open, and no blood flowed out. Damn it! Nine Nether roared. His eyes were red. Lin Xian sneered. How is it? How does it feel to be attacked from behind? I learned it from you. He knew the sword controlling technique. Sword chi appeared and disappeared unpredictably. This was to teach the other party a lesson. Damn it, the wrath of the heavens. Nine Nether roared and waved his spear. Endless black flames burned on it, and it was incomparably cold. Thousands of spear lights swept towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't take it head-on again. Instead, he used the wind shaking the nine heavens again. He appeared and disappeared unpredictably, and his speed was extremely fast. Brat, what's the point of just dodging? If you have the ability, fight me head-on. Seeing that the other party's speed was very strange, Nine Nether roared crazily. Lin Xian snorted coldly. I'm dodging. Why don't you say that you can't keep up with my speed? As soon as he said that, more than a dozen sword lights slashed over from all directions and draped over the other party's body. Fortunately, Nine Nether had some defense and used the battle armor on his body to the extreme. However, he still retreated continuously, his blood and chi churning. Damn it, Yellow Spring. Nine Nether roared and shot out a yellow spring diagram that covered the nine heavens. At this moment, he was going to use the Holy City's secret technique to kill the other party. The yellow spring gushed out with an incomparably cold aura. It spread in all directions. The expressions of the surrounding people changed. Chapter 42-35. The map of Acheron hung down, and the endless Acheron water filled the sky. Everywhere it passed, the void cracked. Nothing could withstand it. The Acheron water rushed towards Lin Xian at an extremely fast speed. Some of the water was extremely corrosive. No matter how strong one's physique was, even if one had armor to defend against it, the space around the arena was completely covered. In the end, there was nowhere to hide. The Acheron water was everywhere. He was completely surrounded. Even the upper valley arena was corroded. Everyone was shocked. The Acheron water was too terrifying. As expected of Nine Nether. Even with a sacred weapon, he might not be able to withstand it. Seeing this, Lin Xian's eyes shone with a cold light. He said coldly, "Do you think you can trap me like this? I'll show you my secret skill." In his right palm, there were endless black runes that wrapped around his fist. In the next moment, his entire fist turned black. Tiger Demon Fist. A low voice was heard. The fist was swung as if a demonic tiger had been resurrected. It tore the void apart, and the mineral water was instantly torn apart. Useless kid. No matter how strong your physique is, you won't be able to withstand it. Nine Nether laughed. But soon, his pupils shrank. How was this possible? He realized that the black fist had torn apart the Acheron water. Impossible, how could his fist block this kind of power? However, just as he was in a daze, Lin Xian tore apart the Acheron water, and then used the secret skill, Army Destroyer. The terrifying power blasted on the opponent's body, and he was sent flying. Wherever it passed, large cracks would spread continuously, and it would almost explode. Half of his body was cracked. At this moment, his face was full of shock. Impossible. What kind of fist technique was that? He was too shocked. The people from the Acheron Hall were also shocked. The elders of the other holy cities sucked in a breath of cold air. However, a few people who had participated in the Grotto Heaven trial gasped. Why was it so similar to the heaven-piercing palm that this fellow executed? However, only a few people had seen it before. Back then, the heaven-piercing palm could even seal a sacred ruler's weapon. The others didn't know at all, and those who knew shook their heads frantically. They didn't believe that no one would be able to learn such an absolute art. Although Nine Nether had participated in the Grotto Heaven test, he did not come from Green Hill Cave. Therefore, he had never seen the black palm before. At this moment, his eyes were red. I don't believe it. Again. The endless water of the yellow springs exploded once again, covering the sky and the earth. This time, the corrosive power was even more terrifying, causing the surrounding people to retreat. In fact, as soon as the aura came out, it caused the world around the array formation to shatter. I don't believe that you can withstand it this time. Lin Xian sneered. His opponent's yellow spring water was indeed terrifying. It could corrode everything. Even if it was the Azure Dragon seal or the wind shakes the 9 heavens, it would still be difficult to resist. If he wanted to contend against it, he would have to use the 9 Yang divine body or the great dragon sword soul with all his strength. But no matter what, he would be instantly recognized. Lin Xian didn't want to reveal his identity yet, so he decided to continue using the Tiger Demon Fist. The Tiger Demon Fist was extremely frightening. It was very similar to the black palm that reached the heavens. Back then, that palm was immune to all kinds of divine abilities. The corrosive power of the yellow springs was also a kind of divine ability, so Lin Xian wasn't afraid at all. The second style of the Tiger Demon Fist, Sky Shattering. The surrounding yellow springs water instantly collapsed. It couldn't withstand the attack at all. The third style of the Tiger Demon Fist, Soul Suppression. Another cold voice rang out, and a ferocious black tiger appeared between heaven and earth. It was as if the divine monument was suppressing him. Sensing the aura, 9 Nether's eyes were filled with fear. Damn it! He quickly retreated. However, he found that the black monument was completely staring at him, making it impossible for him to dodge. Get lost! He roared at the sky. He used his absolute art to block it. Boom! 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 An earth-shattering sound was heard, and there was a burst of bright light. Everything disappeared. When the light dissipated, everyone saw that 9 Nether had been suppressed by the divine monument. His body was bleeding terribly. What? Was he defeated? 9 Nether was defeated. It was unbelievable. Countless people exclaimed. The people of the Acheron Hall were also stunned. How was this possible? Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. He walked forward. Suddenly, his eyelids twitched as he felt a fatal danger. A golden light flashed in his eyes. He could feel that although 9 Nether seemed to be seriously injured, there was an extremely terrifying power hidden in his body. And it seemed that it could erupt at any time. Damn it! This guy actually dared to set up a trap. Then he would beat him at his own game. As he walked, he secretly created a clone. His true body instantly used the void escape technique and disappeared. Throughout the entire process, his body was surrounded by sword light, so no one noticed it. Even the sages didn't pay attention to him. They were all focused on Nine Nether. Interesting. The Flying Sky Sage King and the Desolate Sky Sage King sneered. The eyes of the people of the Acheron Hall turned red. The Silver Corp Sage King said, "Don't be anxious. Just watch patiently." Hearing that, these people were stunned. What was going on? Could it be that he could turn the tables? Just as they were puzzled, Lin Xian's clone had already arrived in front of them. He said coldly, "You're worthy of being called a genius with such strength. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? You really don't know what's good for you." Nine Nether, who was suppressed on the ground, suddenly opened his eyes. He opened his mouth and spat out a terrifying blade light. This attack was really too sudden, and the blade light was too terrifying. It was enough to sweep through everything like a peerless blade. In an instant, Lin Xian's clone was split into two. What? He could still fight back. What a terrifying attack. He wasn't injured at all. Many people instantly screamed. It's over. The sword maniac is seriously injured. The sword maniac has been fooled. Exclamations were heard one after another. The expressions of Murong Qingqing, Shen Jingqiu, and the others instantly changed. They were extremely nervous. The Peerless Sage King was also stunned. There was a cold light in his eyes, and it sank. Ha ha ha. Nine Nether shattered the illusory stone tablet and stood up. There was a hint of savagery in his eyes. What an idiot. Did I kill you so easily? Brat, you're too weak to fight with me. His arrogant voice resounded through heaven and earth. The surrounding people were all stunned. The people of the Acheron Hall also smiled. Great, so it was a trap just now. I knew it. How could God Nine Sons lose? That sword maniac didn't know what was good for him and still wanted to challenge Nine Nether. It seems that he's dead meat now. Don't worry, with senior brother Nine Nether's strength, he won't let that kid die so easily. Chapter 42-36. Nine Nether was smug and arrogant as he strode forward. Even if he didn't kill the other party, he would still be severely injured. Next, he would torture the other party. However, at this moment, a piercing sword light came from behind him and instantly split him apart. A miserable cry was heard. This time, the surrounding void was completely shattered. The surrounding people were all stunned. What's going on? Who attacked again? Wasn't the sword maniac already killed? Nine Nether also couldn't believe it. His soul swept behind him. The next moment, he roared in horror. How is it possible? You're not dead. Lin Xian walked out from behind him. Do you think your little trap can trap me? What a joke. Lin Xian attacked forcefully. His sword chi was like a dragon, directly hitting Nine Nether until he kept retreating. Many sword wounds appeared on Nine Nether's body. He was severely injured. Retreat quickly. In the distance, the eyes of the people from the Acheron Hall turned red when they saw this scene. They really didn't expect Nine Nether to be defeated. The other holy cities were even more shocked. Nine Nether gritted his teeth and roared. He retreated into the distance. He was defeated. He was unwilling to accept it, but as long as he could leave the battlefield, then the other party wouldn't be able to attack him anymore. Lin Xian attacked with the wind shakes the nine heavens. The terrifying law of wind swept the surroundings and blocked his path. Get lost. Nine Nether roared. His hands turned into black flames as he attacked continuously. At this moment, he didn't hold back at all. However, Lin Xian's sword chi flew over and extinguished all the flames with a crack. 9 Nether vomited blood and was sent flying. At the same time, he attacked with the chain of thunder and wrapped it around 9 Nether. It made it impossible for the other party to escape. No, damn it, don't you dare. The people from the Acheron Hall in the distance went crazy. The Silver Corpse Holy King opened his eyes and shouted coldly. Enough. When a Holy King spoke, everyone had to give face. Even if they won, they couldn't kill. However, Lin Xian didn't care. How could he stop just because the other party said so? He snorted coldly and sent out a sword chi. It carried an aura that could destroy everything and destroyed the other party's soul. Was he dead? Everyone went crazy. The other party actually killed 9 Nether in front of a Saint King. The people from Acheron Hall roared. The Silver Corpse Saint King's eyes flashed with terrifying killing intent. The other party actually dared to not give him face. Did he want to die? The pressure that belonged to a Saint King surged out, and it rarely reached the 9 heavens. At this moment, the heavens fell and the earth cracked. Lin Xian said coldly as he naturally felt the immense pressure. What? You're a dignified Saint King, and also the host this time. Could it be that you want to break the rules? Lin Xian sneered. The Silver Corpse Saint King's face turned pale as he gritted his teeth. He snorted coldly and sat down unwillingly. He couldn't attack, but he definitely wouldn't let the other party have an easy time. The surrounding people exclaimed in surprise. He was too arrogant. He didn't even take a Saint King seriously. What was this kid trying to do? Was he trying to defy the heavens? That despicable fellow, I'll go and kill him. Many people in the Yellow Spring shop gnashed their teeth. Even the hunters in the crowd started to move. The man who attacked Shinjingqiu earlier was so angry that he vomited blood. Previously, he didn't care about Lin Xian's threat. However, he didn't expect that Lin Xian would really let him witness the death of a genius. That was the top genius of Acheron Hall. If he died, it would be a huge loss. Therefore, he couldn't help but want to attack. However, Lin Xian didn't give these people a chance. He didn't have any intention of joining the battle. Instead, he stood there and watched the battle with a cold smile. This made everyone who wanted to kill him vomit blood. They were the ones who set the rules, but they didn't expect that they would be trapped by the rules. Damn it, if he dares to kill our genius, we'll kill his genius. The elders gritted their teeth and said. Saint King, let's attack. He must be related to Wushuang City. We'll kill Fu Hongye and Linghu Chueshue. Saint King Wushuang nodded and the hunters moved. However, Fu Hongye's side didn't attack. However, Linghu Chueshue's side was in danger. Linghu Chueshue was over 2,000 years old. However, he was only 2,300 years old. However, he had already arrived at another battlefield. This battlefield was for people between 2,000 and 5,000 years old. The people here were all Saint Venerables. Furthermore, they were all extremely terrifying Saint Venerables. An extremely terrifying elder made his move and charged at Linghu Chueshue. He was holding a large black bell in his hand and was shaking it non-stop. The bell's chimes shook heaven and earth. Terrifying sound waves swept in all directions. This battlefield naturally attracted the attention of countless people. Oh no, they're attacking eldest senior brother. The faces of the people from Wushuang City became extremely ugly. They were gnashing their teeth. Even Saint King Wushuang's face turned cold. Lin Xian's face darkened. These people saw that they didn't have a chance to attack him, so they turned to attack someone else. He started to worry for Linghu Chueshue. After all, the enemy Linghu Chueshue was facing was extremely powerful. Linghu Chueshue received the attack. He was knocked back repeatedly and vomited large mouthfuls of blood. A terrifying light burst forth from his eyes as he unleashed an unparalleled secret technique to block the incoming attack. However, that old man only smiled sinisterly. "It's useless. Go to hell." "Oh no, that old man is a late-stage Saint Venerate." Sensing that old man's aura, the crowd's expressions all changed. They began to worry for Linghu Chueshue. A terrifying attack. The large black belt directly pressed down. It was trying to completely suppress Linghu Chueshue. Everyone despaired. The people from the Acheron Hall revealed sinister smiles. However, at this moment of crisis, the sword in Linghu Chueshue's hand burst forth with an incomparable light. Boom! 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 A loud and clear sound echoed in all directions. When the light dissipated, the crowd was stunned. They discovered that Linghu Chueshue had been injured. However, the old man opposite him had been sliced in half. How could this be? Had Linghu Chueshue reached late-stage Saint Venerate? They had all gone mad. Saint King Wushuang laughed. How could his eldest disciple be weak? Damn it! The people from the Acheron Hall clenched their teeth and gave the order to kill. That old man's body healed, and he stood up. However, he had still underestimated Linghu Chueshue. After revealing his true strength, Linghu Chueshue did not show any leniency. Each and every one of his attacks caused heaven and earth to tremble. In the end, that late-stage Saint Venerate was directly killed. Linghu Chueshue's entire body was burning with blood. However, his aura was incomparable. The crowd was astonished. Linghu Chueshue was most definitely a late-stage Saint Venerate. Furthermore, he was an extremely terrifying existence among late-stage Saint Venerates. Countless people cried out in alarm. Was this the strength of Peerless City's eldest disciple? He was truly too powerful. The people from the other holy cities also became incomparably serious. In the second battlefield, the strength that Linghu Chueshue had displayed in his age group had truly astonished everyone. Chapter 42-37. As expected, Linghu Chueshue did not stop there. Instead, he continued to kill his enemies. He continued to kill many powerful sacred sovereigns, and the Acheron Hall suffered heavy losses. 3 sacred sovereigns died in his hands. Similarly, the Great Desolate Mansion and Demon City lost 2 sacred sovereigns as well. For a moment, everyone was stunned. Linghu Chueshue's battle record exploded once again. He was originally ranked in the 50s of the second battlefield, but now he was ranked in the 30s. Moreover, his ranking was still rising. He had also broken through the 100 battle winning streak. Is this guy trying to get into the top 10? The surrounding people were going crazy. One should know that most of the people in this battlefield were from the older generation. After all, some of them were 4,000 to 5,000 years old. Those who were 2,000 to 3,000 years old were the top disciples. However, no matter how strong they would not be able to fight against those elders. However, Linghu Chueshue seemed to have broken this rule. When Peerless Sage King saw this, he smiled. The disciples of Peerless City cheered excitedly. Great! Our senior brother is mighty. Lin Xian laughed when he saw this. Some people really don't know what's good for them. He looked at the Acheron Hall with a gloating expression. The people of the Acheron Hall were going crazy. At the same time, the people of Demon City and Great Desolate Mansion were vomiting blood. They could only compete with each other and look for an opportunity. At this moment, Peerless City was once again in the limelight. Lin Xian was also looking for an opportunity. However, his body suddenly trembled and his face changed. Not good. After the continuous battles, his strength had increased again. The seal that was originally suppressing him was about to break. If he broke through, he would be punished by the heavens. It would be an attack that could destroy the world. Lin Xian's face turned pale. The surrounding people were also shocked when they saw this. What's going on? What's wrong with this kid? Is he injured? He must have been too arrogant. How could he not be injured? It would be best if he was seriously injured. Seeing Lin Xian's performance, cold laughter could be heard one after another. They felt great. If this kid's injuries were to explode, they would have one less powerful enemy. The people of Peerless City were also shocked. Peerless Sage King frowned. He transmitted his voice and asked, "Junior brother, what's wrong?" Lin Xian said, "I can't suppress my cultivation anymore. I might break through to Holy Venerate." Peerless Holy King was speechless. If others wanted to break through to Holy Venerate, they would be overjoyed. However, the other party was still trying to suppress him. If word of this got out, the geniuses here would probably vomit blood from anger. However, as soon as Lin Xian explained, he understood that Lin Xian's situation was different. He was suppressed by the Great Tao and could not break through. If he tried to break through by force, he would be punished by the heavens. He could only go to planet Xiuan, a world with powerful enemies. "It seems like I'll have to help you." Peerless Saint released a clone. He quietly came to Lin Xian's side. Then, Lin Xian entered the mysterious small sword world in his body. The Peerless Saint King said, "I'll use the Peerless Seal to suppress your cultivation for now. This way, you don't have to worry about anything and can attack to your heart's content." Then, he used the Peerless Seal on Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian realized that the feeling of breaking through had disappeared, which made him heave a sigh of relief. It was too dangerous. If he broke through while fighting, it would be a big joke. "Senior brother, can I go to planet Xiuan if I win the competition?" Lin Xian asked. Peerless Saint King smiled. "Well, I'll give you some hope. You can fight first. Anyway, with your strength, you'll definitely be able to go to planet Xiuan." Peerless Saint King smiled mysteriously, then he left. The people around could not see Lin Xian, so they asked, "Where did that kid go?" "Who knows, maybe he was too injured and ran away." Sigh, what a pity. But thinking about it, he was able to kill so many experts. How could he not be injured? Previously, he was just holding on. Sigh, a genius of the generation has fallen. It's a pity that he did not die on the battlefield. Murong Qingcheng and Shen Jingqiu were also worried. However, after Peerless Saint King returned, he sent a voice transmission to the two of them, which made them heave a sigh of relief. "That's great. That kid is seriously injured and probably won't appear for a while. He might even die from his injuries." Many people laughed. The people from Demon City also sent out their own geniuses to rejoin the battle. Great Baron Mansion and Acheron Hall did the same. Huang 16 came to the arena and sent a sacred venerable flying in 3 moves. In the next 3 battles, he won within 5 moves, which attracted the attention of many people. The people from Great Baron Mansion smiled in satisfaction. Old 16's strength has improved quite well. It seems that he will definitely be able to make it to the top 30 this time. If we nurture him well, he might even become a Saint King. They were very satisfied, and Huang 16 did not let them down. Soon, he won 20 consecutive battles, defeating his opponents within 5 moves. Everyone knew that another hidden genius had appeared. Who dared to challenge him? Huang 16 stood there with his sword pointing in all directions, exuding a domineering aura. At that moment, many people fell silent. They did not even dare to look him in the eye. There were too many dark horses in this world. Previously, there was an expert like the sword maniac. They thought that if the sword maniac did not appear and disappear, those geniuses would be able to make a comeback. Who would have thought that there was still a hidden expert? Huang 16 appeared. He did not make a move before, but now, he dominated the world. There was really a second sword maniac. What's there to be arrogant about? Why didn't he make a move when the sword maniac was here? Now, he's here. In the distance, Wang Xiaofeng and the others gritted their teeth. They were very dissatisfied with the other party's arrogance. However, the other party did have the right to be arrogant. Why? Is there no one who dares to challenge me? How disappointing! Huang 16 roared. This feeling of looking down on the world is really great. I've only been away for a short while, and someone can't wait to show off. When the tiger is not around, the monkey will be king. Since you want to fight, I'll accompany you. A cold snort was heard. Then, a stream of light landed on the arena. The surrounding people were stunned. Who's so arrogant? Who dares to challenge Huang 16? However, when they saw the figure, they were all stunned. Isn't the sword maniac seriously injured? He probably won't be able to participate in the competition for the rest of his life. How is it possible that he's back? In an instant, countless people exclaimed. The faces of the experts from the great sage city turned ugly. The killing god is back. The eyelids of the people from the great desolate mansion twitched. Huang 16 was also stunned. His face darkened. So it's you. To be honest, the other party was indeed very strong. He had to treat him seriously. Lin Xian said, "Yes, it's me. Didn't you say that no one wants to challenge you? Fine, I'll challenge you now. Make your move." As soon as he said that, the crowd went into an uproar. Everyone knew how powerful the sword maniac was. Although Huang 16 did not fight much, he seemed to be able to dominate the world. The two of them would definitely fight fiercely. However, the people from the Acheron Hall were indeed worried. They were full of confidence in Nine Nether. However, the result made their hearts bleed. Chapter 42-38. The crowd went crazy when they heard that. What did that mean? Did the great desolate mansion have no confidence in Huang 16? Otherwise, why would they ask Huang 16 to go back? Huang 16's face darkened. Did their elders not believe in him? Damn it! He gritted his teeth and did not leave. Lin Xian laughed when he saw that. Why are you still here? Your elders are calling you back for dinner. Hurry up and leave. You trash. What did you say? Huang 16 roared. Don't be too arrogant. I'm not afraid of you. Today, I'll fight you to the death. I'll show everyone who's stronger. Huang 16 raised his right hand and a desolation sword appeared in his hand. It shone brightly. Old 16, come back quickly. The elders of the great desolate mansion shouted again. Huang 16 turned around and looked into the distance. He gritted his teeth and said, "Old Zhang, trust me. I'll definitely kill this kid. Please give me a chance." What? The elders hesitated. To be honest, they did not want Huang 16 to return. After all, it would be a huge blow to their confidence. However, saving their lives was more important. However, at this moment, the Silver Corp Saint King said, "Let him fight. Otherwise, this will become his inner demon. He would never be able to advance in his life." Indeed, everyone had been through this stage. They knew that if they could not defeat a strong opponent, they would be defeated. They would be suppressed for the rest of their lives. It was a terrible feeling. Therefore, the elders of the Acheron Hall did not stop him. Instead, they said, "Be careful. Don't worry. I won't let him continue to be arrogant." Huang 16 was extremely confident. "Kid, no one, be it Saint Venerables or experts, could last more than 5 moves from me in the previous battles. Killing you will not be an exception." Huang 16 displayed an unparalleled domineering aura, causing everyone to exclaim in surprise. The people of the Great Desolate Mansion nodded. It seemed like there would be no problem. After all, this sword maniac seemed to be injured. Perhaps he had not recovered yet. He was only temporarily suppressed. This way, he would not be able to unleash his full strength. Humph. His time of death has finally come. Not more than 5 moves. In the arena, Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes after hearing this. He stretched out 3 fingers and said, "If I can't finish you in 3 moves, I won't fight again for the rest of my life." Wow! Even more arrogant. Everyone thought that Desolate 13 had become even more arrogant. Unexpectedly, the sword fanatic was even more arrogant. Finish the battle in 3 moves. Wouldn't he be too arrogant? Some people frowned. Although they knew that Lin Xian was very powerful, Huang 16 was also a top-notch expert. Could such a person be defeated in 3 moves? Desolate 16's expression darkened. The other party actually dared to look down on him, which made him very unhappy. Kill! With a roar, the Baron's sword in his hand slashed down with a terrifying aura. It slashed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't waste any time either, saying that he would kill his opponent in 3 moves. He would not be soft-hearted. With an angry roar, he went all out. The first move of the Tiger Demon Fist, Army Destroyer. The black fist blasted out, directly hitting the Baron's sword. The terrifying power shattered the Desolate sword, and the terrifying aura swept towards Desolate 16. Boom! Desolate 16's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be so strong. He quickly retreated, but in an instant, half of his body was shrouded by the power and turned into a bloody mist. What? He was severely injured in 1 punch. The surrounding people went crazy. Why did the sword fanatic seem even more terrifying than before? The people of the Great Desolate Mansion also had ugly expressions. Could it be? Did they make the wrong decision again? They wanted to shout for Desolate 16 to come back, but it was too late. After Lin Xian's first move succeeded, the second move of the Tiger Demon Fist, Heaven's Fall, appeared again. Damn it! Sensing the change in Lin Xian's fist technique, Desolate 16 roared. A pagoda rushed out of his body, emitting a desolate aura. At the same time, he spat out 2 shields in front of him. He didn't believe that he couldn't block it. These were all extremely terrifying weapons. Their defense was super strong. However, under the second move, everything was torn apart. Nothing could stop it. Desolate 16's body also cracked under the Heaven's Fall, turning into a bloody mist. Ah! Desolate 16 raised his head and roared, his voice filled with endless fear. He turned into a bloody ray of light and flew into the distance. The arrogance he had before was all gone. Killing the enemy in 5 moves. He threw all those thoughts to the back of his mind. He wanted to escape because he realized that Lin Xian was too strong. He was no match for Lin Xian. Desolate 16 had actually fled. The spectators were all stunned. The experts of the sacred city were also shocked. The people of the Great Desolate Mansion were also nervous. However, Desolate 16 was decisive. He ran away when he couldn't win. This still gave them hope. Don't you think it's too late for you to run? The third move of the Tiger Demon Fist, Soul Suppression. Lin Xian roared and unleashed his strength to the maximum. A whistling sound was heard. It shocked the heavens and earth. Suddenly, the shadow of a black tiger descended from the sky and suppressed Desolate 16, who was running away. Desolate 16 fell onto the arena and spat out a mouthful of blood. He didn't run away. Countless people exclaimed. The people of the Acheron Hall were also looking terrible. They felt despair. Was another prodigy going to fall? Desolate 16 roared crazily. Damn it, kid, let me go. My brother is Desolate 13, a top expert of the previous generation. You're dead meat if you touch me. How dare you threaten me? I don't care who your brother is. Even if your ancestor is a sage king, I won't let you go today. Lin Xian sneered and slapped Desolate 16. Desolate 16's face was shattered. He couldn't say a word. His eyes were filled with fear. Lin Xian laughed. Don't worry, I won't kill you. I'll just cripple you. I'll turn you into a piece of trash. Desolate 16 still had a glimmer of hope, but when he heard Lin Xian's words, he lost all hope. Lin Xian was a demon. He wanted to escape, but he couldn't. At the next moment, he felt a terrifying sword intent surge into his body, directly destroying his foundation. At the same time, his soul was severely injured and became extremely weak. He was finished. The cultivation and strength that he had cultivated for thousands of years were all destroyed. He had become a piece of trash. This was worse than killing him. Get lost, piece of trash. I don't want to kill you. Lin Xian kicked Desolate 16 away. Desolate 16's body was like a kite with a broken string as he fell into the distance. He landed in front of the elders of the Great Desolate Mansion. The elders of the Great Desolate Mansion gritted their teeth. They went forward to check on Desolate 16 and found that he had become a piece of trash. What a terrifying move. The surrounding people were stunned. Lin Xian was going to fight to the death with the Great Desolate Mansion. The Silver Corpse Sage King's eyes shone with a terrifying light as he stared at Lin Xian. No one had ever dared to provoke them like this. Lin Xian was courting death. However, Lin Xian didn't care. When these Sage Kings wanted to kill him, they didn't expect this to happen. He snorted coldly. At the same time, a roar came from the second battlefield. Then, a figure that looked like a demon flew over. He looked down at the 8 barren lands. Who dared to cripple my brother? Chapter 42-39. A cold voice rang out, sending chills down everyone's spine. Everyone looked up in fear and exclaimed. Huang Shi-san. He's going to fight. He was from the same generation as Fu Hongye. Even though he was 2030 years old. Hence, he was assigned to the second battlefield. Fu Hongye was 1800 years old and was still in the third battlefield. What? You're not happy. I'll kill you like a dog in the next battle. Lin Xian's voice was so cold that everyone almost fainted. Is this kid really that reckless? What a reckless kid. Huang Shi-san's face was cold, and a terrifying aura was emitted from his body. He was about to fight. However, a few elders flew over and said coldly, Huang Shi-san, please follow the rules. Otherwise, we'll kill you. Despicable. Huang Shi-san didn't attack, but roared at the sky. Kid, just you wait. Do you think the rules can protect you forever? I'll make you wish you were dead in the next round. Desolate 13 turned around and walked away from Law. The surrounding people exclaimed. What does this mean? Can Huang Shisan fight in the second round? They didn't know, but if this was true, then this sword maniac was really in danger. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. The second round. I'm looking forward to it. However, some people obviously couldn't wait until the second round. The desolate Heaven Sage King was preparing to send a super hunter to kill Huang Shisan. Even the Demon City and the Acheron Palace were preparing to go all out. Peerless Saint King sent a telepathic message to Lin Xian, asking him not to make any more moves to avoid any danger. Lin Xian nodded. It's about time. The rest will be left for the second round. Hence, he didn't attack. Although he had given the record to Murong Qingqing before, he had made up for it by killing a couple of top warriors later on. He had also won 100 battles in a row. Hence, he wouldn't have a problem advancing to the next round. Lin Xian didn't attack anymore. Instead, he kept watching. There were a few people he paid attention to. For example, Wang Jianyi and Chao Tianxing. Those who went to the second battlefield with him were too terrifying. The Acheron Palace and the other great sage cities saw that Lin Xian wasn't attacking, and they were about to vomit blood. Damn it. They were preparing to kill Huang Shisan together, but they didn't expect that they would punch the air. They clenched their teeth to their teeth, but they couldn't do anything about it. From the looks of it, this guy wanted to enter the second stage safely. Did he think that he could escape after entering? Just wait, the second round will be his death. I'll let him know what hell is. These Saint Kings gnashed their teeth. Finally, after another half a month, the ancient arena slowly disappeared, and the battles came to an end. Knowing that the first trial was over, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Is over, is S, S, SSSS. S is SSS. At this moment, the entire heavenly wind world was filled with the smell of blood, causing people to faint. The people in the extraterritorial observatory were terrified as well. These dead geniuses and experts could easily sweep through a region in the outside world. But now that he had fallen, was it worth it? The experts and elders of the Saint City also had ugly expressions on their faces. But in the end, they took a deep breath and dispelled the sadness in their eyes. Although the losses were heavy, it was worth it. The path of martial arts was bound to be extremely dangerous. Only those who lived and grew could become the ultimate powerhouse. The faces of the people from the Great Sage City, the Yellow Spring Palace, the Great Desolation Mansion, and the Demon City grew even uglier. This was because their side had suffered even more losses. Nearly half of their people had been killed by Lin Xian. Many of them were top-notch geniuses who had the potential to become Saint Kings in the future. But now he's fallen. Next was the recuperation period. Everyone had 10 days to recover. 10 days later, the second stage would be opened. As for what the second stage would be, it was still unknown. They could only raise their cultivation and strength to the peak to deal with any possibility. On the 9th day, the Silver Corpse Holy King walked out and announced. The first stage is over. Those who have achieved 50 consecutive victories will pass the second stage. When the announcement was made, there was an uproar. That was because some of the survivors would be eliminated. After all, they had not achieved 50 consecutive victories. The conditions were too strict. Many people sucked in a cold breath. Those who entered the second stage were definitely the strongest of the experts. The Tao discussion is a matter of the second heavenly boundary. Although most of the participants are experts from the Saint City, we have invited some wandering cultivators. However, the second stage is too difficult for wandering cultivators. It needs to be done in groups. Therefore, these wandering cultivators can join the Saint City. They can complete the second stage together. When the announcement was made, everyone understood. At the same time, the hunters who had appeared as wandering cultivators walked out. They then walked in all directions. It seemed that they were truly going to return. When the people from the Saint City saw this, their eyes flickered. They were not going to give them a chance. They were going to let their hunters return under some guise. Lin Xian naturally knew this. He immediately snorted coldly. However, he had also appeared as a hunter. Therefore, he had to choose a sect. It seemed like the second stage was not an individual battle. Could it be a group battle? It seemed like it was time to return. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. The others were also paying attention. They wanted to know which faction this kid belonged to. However, they were not sure. Among them, Meng Qing walked out and said, "Sword Maniac, why don't you join the Blue Dragon race? We can definitely help you pass the second stage." When the words came out, everyone was shocked. Could it be that this guy was related to the dragons? The winged and sword dragons also hurried out and sent out invitations. They knew that Sword Maniac had the blue dragon horn. If they could get closer to him, they would gain endless benefits in the future. Therefore, the three dragons were competing with each other to invite him. Everyone was stunned. What was this kid's relationship? Guan Sanghai represented the Azure Sea Pavilion to invite him. Even Qin Xiener came out to invite him. Murong Qingqing and Shen Jingqiu also came out to invite him. Everyone was dumbfounded. Their eyes were red with envy. Who didn't want to be treated as a VIP by the Great Sage City? Their dreams were actually fulfilled by a young man. Lin Xian thought for a while and said, "It was hard to refuse everyone's invitation. I'm embarrassed to reject anyone. How about this? I'll leave it to fate. Let's see who God wants me to choose. After this sword spins, I'll join whichever faction the sword peak is facing." Lin Xian waved his hand, and a sword light spun in the sky like a fiery wheel. Finally, the sword tip pointed towards Peerless City. Of course, he was secretly controlling it. Because he felt that it was time to return. Seeing this, the people from Peerless City were stunned. Such a top expert was going to join them. If that was the case, their chances of winning the second stage might be higher. Peerless Sage King squinted his eyes and laughed. This kid wanted to come back, but he still used so many tricks. Chapter 42-40. The people from Thousand Demon City in Acheron Palace were filled with murderous intent when they saw this. They had guessed that the other party was related to Wushuang City, and it seemed like it was true. Damn it, I'll send all of them to hell this time. Their eyes were filled with coldness. The Silver Corp Sage King walked out and said, "The second stage will begin tomorrow, and I'll tell you the rules of the second stage. The second stage. All of you will enter a unique space where you will fight. There is no age restriction, but Sage Kings and Sage King level weapons are not allowed to appear." Everyone was in disbelief when they heard this. What? No age restriction. Does that mean all the people from the first and second battlefields can come? Oh my God. Although they were all sacred venerables, the people from the third battlefield were all early sacred venerables. The first and second battlefields were different. The second battlefields were mostly mid-sacred venerables, and there were a few late sacred venerables. The first battlefields were all late sacred venerables, and they were all old monsters who had lived for more than 5,000 years. If they fought, they would most likely die. Who could stop them? In an instant, everyone was in an uproar. However, the eyes of the experts from the great sage city flickered. It was obvious that they already knew about this rule. Said the Silver Corpse Saint King in a low voice. Everyone quieted down and he continued. The Sage Heaven's Tao discussion is not only a test of talent, but it is also a risk to survive in the myriad of worlds. Therefore, the second stage of the battle is to make it as realistic as possible. Only those who can survive in the complicated battle are the geniuses and experts that we want. Moreover, you don't have to fight alone, you can form an alliance, and it's up to you. I will give each of you a command medallion, but each command medallion will be different. There are 3 types of tokens: heaven, earth, and mortal. Only by gathering all 3 types of tokens can you pass the second stage. You have 1 month in the second stage. Everyone was stunned. Not only did they have to survive against those old monsters, but they also had to gather all 3 types of tokens. There was also a 1-month time limit. Oh my god, this is an impossible task. Lin Xian was also stunned. He asked, "What's wrong with senior brother?" If that was the case, there would be very few people who could pass the second stage. The Peerless Sage King sighed and transmitted his voice. This wasn't the first time this had happened. Originally, they didn't expect too many people to pass the second round. He didn't plan on letting too many people pass. Lin Xian was shocked. What was going on? Could it be related to going to planet Xiuan? No matter what, he has to pass. The other sacred cities also inquired about this matter. However, after learning about it, these people quieted down. He was afraid that the second trial would be even more brutal than the first. Alright, once you enter the second stage, you won't have any chance of admitting defeat, so it's not too late to back out now. A cold voice sounded. However, those participants' gazes were resolute. Although they knew that the road ahead was dangerous, so what? They had encountered so many dangers along the way. It wasn't easy for him to come this far, so how could he give up? As long as there was a glimmer of hope, they had to fight hard, so no one gave up. Very good. The Silver Corpse Saint King smiled when he saw this. He would rest for another day. Tomorrow, when the sun rises, it will begin. Everyone went back and gathered together to discuss countermeasures for the second stage. After all, the second stage wasn't an individual battle. It was a group battle, so the distribution was very important. Most of the sacred cities had to select a few geniuses, which meant that even if they got the token, they would give it to those geniuses first. They had to ensure that those geniuses successfully appeared. Peerless City was also discussing this matter. Lin Xian was surprised to find that Peerless City didn't send too many people this time. There were only about a dozen people in total. Although there were quite a number of people, compared to the other sacred cities, it was much smaller. That was because the other sacred cities only had a few dozen people. The difference in numbers was 2 to 3 times. However, Peerless Holy King didn't care. He was very confident. Lin Xian also found out that the participants this time were all direct disciples, which meant that they were trained by Peerless Holy King. There were a total of 7 people. Other than that, there were also Lin Xian and Shen Jingqiu. That was a total of 9 people. There were also 2 advanced sacred venerables of the older generation. Altogether, there were 11 people. Although the number of people was small, Peerless Holy King was very confident. The other sacred cities also quickly made their preparations. The night passed quickly. When the sun rose the next day, everyone took a deep breath. They all stood up. The great sage kings also walked out. Silver Corpse Holy King stood above the 9 heavens. He said, "Open it." These holy kings formed hand seals and pressed down on the void. The entire void let out a loud roar. Soon, an ancient phantom appeared. It was indomitable, like an immortal king. He held a mirror in his hand. The mirror was drawn into a whirlpool door. Silver Corpse Holy King said coldly, "Walk in and you will enter the second stage." With that, the people from Acheron Hall rushed in. 47 people from Acheron Hall entered. Each of them was extremely powerful. After they entered the Thousand Demon City. Thunder God City, Great Desolate Mansion, and other sacred cities all entered. Peerless Holy King also took a deep breath. He said, "You all go in too." With the two older generation figures taking the lead, Lin Xian and the others also soared into the sky and walked inside. Looking at the disappearing figures, Acheron Hall, Great Desolate Mansion, and other sacred cities had cold killing intent in their eyes. This time, they would not return. After everyone left, the Holy Kings formed hand seals again. The mysterious mirror in the sky shone brightly. Then, it formed a light screen. When the surrounding people saw the scene in the mirror, they exclaimed. It was the person who had just entered. Indeed, the mirror had transformed into the person who had just entered the room. Not only that, the mirror formed 24 light screens. Between heaven and earth, everyone could see it. Even those from the extraterritorial region could see it clearly. So this is what the second stage looks like. Although they had entered, they could clearly see the situation of these people. They wondered what kind of intense battle would break out next. Lin Xian took a deep breath after entering. He knew that it would be very dangerous. However, when he appeared, he was stunned because he realized that there was no one around. Random teleportation. He was surprised. If that was the case, he had to meet up first. Otherwise, it would be very dangerous. Fortunately, everyone would be randomly teleported. Therefore, he was not afraid that there would be a situation in the early stages where they outnumbered him. They had already thought of such a situation, so they had thought of a strategy to deal with it. Lin Xian took out his token and sent a voice transmission. They began to gather. Chapter 42-41. The geniuses who were scattered all over the place also started to move quickly. At the same time, the elders of the great sage city were watching the battle silently. They were extremely nervous. After all, they couldn't control the situation inside and could only watch from the outside. Suddenly, someone exclaimed as they realized that someone had fallen. The one who was killed was a sacred venerate from the 7-star tower. The one who attacked was Huang Shisan from the Great Desolate Mansion. He was extremely terrifying and no one could escape from him. The people from the 7-star tower looked terrible, but they couldn't do anything about it. Next, everyone watched the battle anxiously. In this space, Lin Xian frowned. He had a strong advantage, and that was his God's Eye of Heaven strike, which allowed him to see more space than others. When he used his heaven-grade God art, he had a strange feeling that he was being stared at by countless people. Could it be that the people outside could see what was happening inside? Lin Xian was surprised, although he wasn't sure. However, it was better to be careful. Endless thunder filled his body and covered his golden eyes. Then, he used his Eye of Heaven strike to look around. Buzz! Suddenly, Lin Xian's body swayed and he quickly dodged. Where he originally stood, an extremely terrifying crack appeared, splitting everything apart. It was a ray of light that was more dazzling than the sun. It was indestructible. Fortunately, Lin Xian reacted quickly and dodged it. The person who attacked in the dark was also surprised. He actually dodged it. However, when Lin Xian turned around and the person saw Lin Xian's face, he smiled bitterly. "It's you, sword maniac." He turned around and fled without saying a word. To be honest, he didn't know who Lin Xian was when he launched the sneak attack, but now he saw it clearly. He knew how terrifying the sword fanatic was, so he was very decisive when he fled. Lin Xian frowned and waved his hand. A ray of sword light shot out like thunder. It directly sent the person flying, causing him to vomit blood. "No, don't kill me. I didn't know it was you. I'm willing to hand over my token. Please spare my life." This person was an expert from the Limitless sect. At this moment, he was very decisive. Lin Xian took the token and snorted coldly, "Scram." If it was outside, even if the other party was from the Limitless sect, he would not have let them off. But here, he didn't go overboard. At least, he didn't kill the other party. He knew that the Yellow Spring Hall, the Great Desolation sect, and the Demon City would definitely team up. Even Lei Xinqing and the 10,000 Swords Pavilion would join hands. Therefore, Peerless City had a lot of enemies. If they wanted to fight back, they had to join forces with other forces. So now, he was looking for some allies that he could unite with. At this moment, a mirror appeared in the sky and shrouded the area below. It was obvious that it was a sacred artifact. It seemed that someone had already started looking for it. At the same time, several pairs of eyes appeared in the sky. Evidently, these were all terrifying eye techniques. Lin Xian, on the other hand, relied on his heavenly secret divine eyes to move quickly. He has already defeated several people. He had also obtained quite a number of tokens. However, he still hadn't managed to gather all of them. After all, everyone had different tokens. There would be a lot of overlap. Moreover, he planned to continue attacking even if he managed to gather all of them. This was because he wanted to eliminate as many people from the holy city as possible. When the experts outside saw this scene, they were shocked. This sword maniac is actually so fast. Yes, he has already obtained 6 tokens. Why do I feel that he can instantly locate the enemy's location? Could it be that he has a powerful eye technique as well? These people were puzzled. Even the Sage Kings frowned. They seemed to want to see through the light screen. However, Lin Xian had a layer of lightning defense on his body. Moreover, they couldn't interfere with the situation inside the space. Therefore, they could only stare. Next, the other geniuses started attacking quickly. They had obtained many more tokens. Some of them were killed. Some of them only lost their tokens and didn't die. Therefore, they just needed to snatch the tokens back within a month. Therefore, they became even crazier. For a time, all kinds of battles broke out. Suddenly, the ancient mirror in the sky lowered its gaze and shrouded Lin Xian. At the same time, countless laws were sprinkled in the surroundings, forming a seal. At the same time, a cold smile appeared on the lips of some people in the distance. Found it. They were people from the Demon City. At this moment, 3 figures rushed over. "Are you going to attack me?" Lin Xian sneered. He threw a punch at the seal, causing it to tremble non-stop. At the same time, the expressions of the 3 great demons who were rushing over changed. Not good. Speed up. He seemed to be fighting back. A pair of wings of shrouding heaven appeared behind one of them and wrapped the 2 of them. The wings moved gently and directly tore through the void. Their speed increased by several times. The other person was wrapped in the wings. His palms were constantly forming seals, causing the mirror in the sky to continuously hammer down light. An unparalleled power erupted from the mirror, causing the world to constantly collide with each other. So much so that some people nearby also sensed it. Their faces turned pale and they quickly retreated. Someone was attacking. What a terrifying attack! Exclamations could be heard. At the same time, the people watching from the outside naturally noticed this as well. The swordsman was targeted. A great battle was about to break out. They were extremely nervous. And in the space, Lin Xian's lips curled into a disdainful smile. The sword chi on his body burned, making him look like a sword god. With a sword, he split the seal. However, Lin Xian didn't leave. Instead, he was waiting. These people wanted to kill him. He was here to send these people to hell. The three great demon saints were very fast. They arrived in an instant. Seeing that Lin Xian didn't escape after breaking the seal, the three of them were stunned. Then, their faces darkened. "Kid, you actually dare to wait here. You're really impatient. Well, I'll take you down today." Earth-shattering power erupted from the three of them. The light of laws shot into the sky. It was as if the three volcanoes had been resurrected. Lin Xian didn't say anything and directly used the tiger demon to attack. Army Destroyer. Sky Shattering. Soul Suppressor. The three attacks were endless. Between heaven and earth, a tiger's roar sounded. It was abnormally terrifying. The three great demon saints naturally knew how powerful it was. They roared and attacked together. The three of them used their terrifying unique skills. Among them, the person with the wings of shrouding heaven on his back turned his wings into two heavenly blades. A terrifying light flashed. Another person controlled the mirror and used a soul attack. The last person let out a roar as he punched out with a terrifying fist, causing the world around him to collapse. Chapter 42-42. The people outside exclaimed when they saw this scene. The sword maniac shouldn't be able to block it this time, right? Boom! 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 The three divine powers collided with the tiger demon fist. Rays of light exploded, and the terrifying laws shocked the world. Then, the three divine powers were torn apart, and the three beast overlords were sent flying. The spectators outside sucked in a breath of cold air, revealing incomparably shocked expressions. The sword maniac was too powerful, right? The three beast overlords in the space also had ugly looks on their faces. The other party was able to fight against them, and the three of them were able to injure them. A cold light burst out from their eyes, and they attacked with all their might. With a roar, their bloodlines were fully activated. The terrifying wings of shrouding heaven fluttered between heaven and earth. The ancient mirror kept growing bigger and bigger, like a mountain descending, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. The last beast overlord even waved his fist, shattering the void. It had the power to wipe out thousands of troops. These were the three ultimate moves, but they were easily broken by Lin Xian. The three of their bodies split apart, turning into rain that scattered between heaven and earth. Lin Xian's strength was far beyond their expectations. The three of them probably didn't expect it even when they were dying. The attack formed by the three of them was broken so easily. They were really weak. After Lin Xian killed the three of them, he took their storage rings. Then, a large black hand grabbed at the void. He directly controlled the mirror. The mirror wanted to fight back, but Lin Xian slapped it. His heavenly secret divine eyes shattered the soul imprint on it. The Thousand Demon City was really courting death. Lin Xian snorted. He directly controlled the mirror and began to search around. He was looking for the people of the Thousand Demon City. The spectators outside exclaimed in surprise. The faces of the people of the Thousand Demon City turned ugly again. Would the nine-headed Qilin be in danger? That's right, Lin Xian was indeed looking for the people of the Thousand Demon City. Originally, he had a heaven-level divine power, but once he used it, he was afraid that he would be exposed. But now, with this ancient mirror, there was nothing for him to be afraid of. His soul power flowed in continuously, allowing him to scan his surroundings. Soon, he saw the phantoms of a few demonic beasts. Kill! Lin Xian controlled the mirror and flew out. Soon, he arrived in the sky and shot a shocking bolt of thunder at the mountain range below. A crazy roar came from below. A lizard suddenly transformed. Its tail was drawn in the shape of a 1,000-mile mountain range, sweeping across the sky. However, it was easily pierced through by Lin Xian. After 3 moves, the giant lizard was blown apart. After seizing the token and storage ring, Lin Xian continued on his way. Next, he attacked fiercely, killing 5 terrifying demonic beasts. Finally, he met a person. When he saw this person, a smile appeared on his face. Nine-headed Qilin. Nine-headed Qilin's expression was extremely ugly. There were only 2 people beside him. Logically speaking, with his status, it was impossible for him to have so few guards. But after all, it was a random teleportation. After he arrived, he did not have time to gather others. But now, he was found by Lin Xian. This made him feel like he was facing a great enemy. When nine-headed Qilin saw Lin Xian, his face turned green. He turned around and ran. Lin Xian shot out a bolt of thunder, which turned into a sea of lightning and completely sealed the entire space. In the next moment, he walked forward. Why? You want to leave so soon after seeing me? Where's your arrogance from before? Damn brat, if you dare to do anything, you're dead. The experts of the Thousand Demon City are nearby. Nine-headed Qilin gritted his teeth and roared. Outside, the people of the Thousand Demon City were also stunned when they saw this scene. Soaring Sky Sage King even stood up, his eyes bursting with a cold murderous intent. A terrifying aura shook the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Everyone trembled. His cold voice sounded. Sword Maniac, you're dead. The 3 dragons' faces darkened. Peerless Sage King even sneered. Why can't you keep your cool? If you're afraid of death, why let him in? Besides, it's useless for you to scream here. Go in if you dare. Damn it. Soaring Divine King was about to vomit blood. He couldn't control this space, so naturally, he couldn't go in. Besides, there were so many Sage Kings. If he broke the rules, he would be attacked. He sat down coldly and gritted his teeth. If anything happens to nine-headed Qilin, he's dead. The sword maniac will definitely die. Whoever dares to protect him will be going against the demon city. I'll definitely destroy his soul. His cold voice made everyone know that the Thousand Demon City was really angry this time. I wonder what will happen to nine-headed Qilin. Does this sword maniac dare to make a move? In the space, Lin Xian looked at nine-headed Qilin and laughed. You still dare to threaten me? Looks like you don't know what's good for you. Go, the 2 of you, kill him. Nine-headed Qilin roared. Beside him were 2 demon sages. One was shining like the sun, while the other was cold like a demon. These 2 were powerful guardians. Roar! The one on the left was a flaming sparrow. It opened its mouth and spewed out divine fire that burned the 9 heavens. The one on the right spewed out terrifying demonic clouds that covered the sky with a cold aura. When the 2 of them attacked, it was really terrifying. However, it was a pity that they met Lin Xian. Lin Xian didn't care at all. With a wave of his hand, the tiger demon fist and blue dragon seal exploded again. The dragon roared and the tiger roared. The heavens fell and the earth cracked. The sky full of divine fire and terrifying demonic clouds were all shattered. The two of them also exclaimed, "Not good, ninth young master. He's too strong. We should hurry and escape." Nine-headed Cheelin's expression became extremely ugly. "Can we escape?" As expected, thunder and terrifying sword chi kept appearing around Lin Xian. The sword chi cut off everything. "The three of you don't have to surrender. If you kneel down obediently, I can consider leaving your corpses intact." Nine-headed Cheelin gritted his teeth. He knew that the Thousand Demon City had targeted the other party. The other party would definitely not show mercy. Therefore, he said that the two of them had to hold on for a while. He was going to use a secret technique. He gritted his teeth and the illusion of a nine-headed sky snake and a Cheelin appeared on his body. At the same time, he spat out a huge seal. There was a Cheelin coiling around the seal. It was abnormally terrifying. Could it be a treasure left behind by a legendary powerhouse of the Cheelin race? When the spectators saw this, they exclaimed. They didn't expect nine-headed Cheelin to have such a trump card. When the two demon sages saw this scene, they also took a deep breath. This was the only way. Therefore, their eyes turned red. They were going all out. The laws on their bodies exploded and they let out terrifying roars. The two of them used their secret techniques and rushed over again. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. The wind and thunder laws condensed in his hand, forming a huge and indestructible sickle. When the sickle slashed down, it destroyed everything. Soon, screams were heard. The two demon sages couldn't even block a single move. They were directly killed. Their souls wanted to run, but they were directly enveloped by two balls of golden flames. They burned rapidly. Ah! The miserable screams made one's scalp tingle. Nine-headed Cheelin was stunned. They can't even block a single move. He gritted his teeth and spat out blood, staining the Cheelin seal. The Cheelin seal exploded with an unparalleled radiance. A terrifying roar was heard from it. It was as if a Cheelin had been resurrected and rushed into the sky. Chapter 42-43. Great! The nine-headed dragon was overjoyed when it saw this. It turned into a stream of light and tried to leave with the Cheelin seal. However, at this moment, a large black palm slapped over and enveloped him. Damn it! The nine-headed dragon roared and blew at the Cheelin seal as it charged forward. It wanted to fight against the other party. The Cheelin charged into the clouds and wanted to tear the black palm apart. Boom! The two collided and terrifying laws swept in all directions. Countless large cracks spread rapidly. I blocked it. The nine-headed dragon heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, I can fight against the other party. However, he soon realized that he was too naive. There were strange runes on the black palm and it directly blasted the Cheelin's attack away. The black palm closed and grabbed the Cheelin directly. At this moment, another palm slapped over. Like the phantom of an azure dragon, it rushed towards Kyujin. The nine-headed dragon screamed in pain and its body was instantly torn apart. No! Outside, the people of the demon city roared crazily when they saw this scene. The nine-headed dragon couldn't block such an attack at all. He would definitely be killed. The nine-headed dragon only had 3 lives left. Now, he only had 2 left. Can he still fight against it? Damn it, why don't those people dare to come? The nine-headed dragon was indeed killed. The azure dragon heart was definitely not something he could withstand. However, his bloodline was special and he could revive after death. Not long after, the nine-headed dragon phantom appeared on his body. After he was revived, his expression became extremely ugly. Damn it! I will definitely take revenge. He ran away again. However, the azure dragon seal. Once again, it came over. The nine-headed dragon screamed crazily. Lin Xian sneered. You want to beg me? I'll give you a chance. The nine-headed dragon gritted its teeth. I'm a peerless genius. I'm usually high and mighty. How could I beg for mercy? However, he only had 2 lives. The other party could completely destroy him in 2 moves. In order to save his life, he could only grit his teeth and kneel on the ground. Please let me go. I will never go against you again. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian threw his head back and laughed. His eyes shone with a terrifying light as he looked up at the sky. Did you see that? The peerless geniuses of the myriad demon city that you have groomed are now kneeling before my feet. I wonder how you feel about that. The people outside were all stupefied. The nine-headed spirit was actually kneeling and begging for mercy. This was truly out of their expectations. Furthermore, Lin Xian's unrestrained provocation shocked them even more. The greater demons of the myriad demon city roared madly. They were originally ferocious demonic beasts. Usually, they were the ones who suppressed others. No one dared to provoke them. However, at this moment, they were being crazily slapped in the face. Even their most outstanding disciple was kneeling at the feet of that person. Damn it, those elders were so angry that they almost vomited blood. The flying sky Saint King's eyes exploded with a terrifying saber light that pierced through everything, causing the surrounding sky and earth to shatter. The nine-headed Qilin was also roaring crazily inside. Who are you? Who are you? Why are you targeting our myriad demon city? He really doesn't understand. Lin Xian sneered. You people from the demon city use your power to bully others. Do you think you can bully others just because you have the upper hand? Today, I'll let you have a taste of being bullied. I'm here for revenge. As he said that, Lin Xian struck out with soul-suppressing strike. The terrifying black stone tablet descended, completely suppressing the nine-headed Qilin. Lin Xian struck out with a dragon-shaped sword qi that entered the nine-headed Qilin's body, completely sealing him. The nine-headed Qilin felt his strength disappear and became terrified. What are you trying to do? I'm already kneeling and begging for mercy. Lin Xian sneered. Don't worry, I won't kill you now because you're still useful. I'll give you a big gift. He waved his hand and kept the nine-headed Qilin. The people outside were all stunned. Lin Xian didn't attack directly. This was simply too shocking. But thinking about it, they knew that the nine-headed Qilin was probably feeling worse than death right now. They didn't know what Lin Xian was planning. On the other hand, the people from the myriad demon city were all discussing. Lin Xian was here for revenge. Who was he? They had offended many people because of their 5 yang's might. But so what? No one should be able to go against them. The flying divine king's face darkened as well. He was thinking about who Lin Xian was. Suddenly, he thought of someone. But soon, he shook his head. Impossible. That guy was poisoned by the yellow spring diagram. He shouldn't be alive. Even if he was alive, he shouldn't be so strong. So, he really didn't know who Lin Xian was. Lin Xian left after suppressing the nine-headed Qilin. He didn't kill him. Because he was going to use the nine-headed Qilin to threaten the myriad demon city. Who knew, it might be useful. But now, he should meet up with the people from Wushuang City. He continued to activate the ancient mirror above his head to search. In other places, the other people were doing the same. They were also searching for the other party and fighting for the token. In the boundless mountains, 4 flashes of lightning unceasingly flickered and transformed into 4 human figures. They were the 4 experts of the Thunder God. At this moment, they were looking at a figure by the waterfall in front of them, and a smile appeared on their faces. Someone was there, and he was alone. They directly rushed over and fought in all 4 directions, completely surrounding that person. Looking at the other party's appearance, they should be from Peerless City. A cold smile appeared on their faces. They had enmity with Wushuang City. So, did they see the people from Wushuang City? Kneel at our feet obediently and accept our judgment. We can leave you with an intact corpse. In front of them, a young man was sitting on a rock under the waterfall. He was fishing with a fishing rod. Seeing the 4 figures around him, he raised his head and frowned. People from Laishan City, you scared my fish away. Get lost. Otherwise, die. A cold voice echoed between heaven and earth. The 4 people from Laishan Qing were stunned. Then, they sneered in disdain. What did this kid say? Tell us to get lost. Tell us to die. Ha ha ha. Who does he think he is? If you were Fu Hongye or Linghu Chueshue, we would leave immediately. But you're not. How dare you be so arrogant in front of us? Looks like you're tired of living. Some people were always so reckless. The young man rose to his feet. The fishing rod in his hand was still swaying gently. A low and deep voice was heard. 1,000 mountains, absolute flight. After the voice sounded, the surrounding scene changed. Thousands of illusions of mountains appeared around the waterfall, blocking their path. At the same time, some piercing rays of light tore through the void, shattering the entire void. Puff! Puff! In the blink of an eye, the 4 sacred venerables from Laishan City were pierced through thousands of times by those black shadows. Blood dyed the sky red. Chapter 42-44. In just an instant, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The bodies of the 4 people also turned into a bloody mist. How could this be? The 4 of them roared in horror. What happened just now? Wasn't the opponent's divine ability too terrifying? Since you've disturbed my fishing, then you'll become my fish. The young man's eyes once again burst out with a terrifying light. Not good, this is a hidden expert. Run, the 4 sacred venerables from Thunder God City. Just as they were about to turn and run, a cold voice rang out between heaven and earth. 10,000 paths, no trace. Crack, crack. Time between heaven and earth seemed to have stopped. The 4 sacred venerables also stopped in their tracks. Then, they shattered like glass. Their souls were directly shattered. They could not believe that the opponent actually had such a terrifying divine ability. The people who were watching the battle outside were also stunned. Oh my God, who is this person? He could actually kill 4 experts of the same level so easily. His means were simply heaven-defying. He was from Wushuang City. Impossible. Other than Fu Hongye and Linghu Chueshue, was there anyone else in Wushuang City who was so terrifying? The people of the Thunder God City all had ugly expressions on their faces when they heard the commotion. Damn it, they had lost 4 experts in an instant. They raised their heads and looked at Wushuang City. They weren't the only ones looking over. Everyone was looking over. Wushuang Sage's lips curled into a smile. Did these people think that he did not have any trump cards? What a joke. Wushuang City did not send any hunters before this. It was not that they were not strong enough, but that some people needed to use them at a critical moment. For example, the strength of the second stage was enough to shock these people. In front of the waterfall, the young man killed 4 sacred venerables of the same level as him, as if he had done something insignificant. He also raised his head and looked at the sky. It was as if he could see through the void. I am Wushuang Sage's 3rd disciple, Lu Yuan. His voice spread in all directions. The spectators' pupils shrank. Wushuang Sage's personal disciple. They did not expect that other than Linghu Chueshue and Fu Hongye, there was actually such a terrifying disciple. They wondered if Wushuang City had any other trump cards. Everyone was shocked. In fact, it was not only Wushuang City. Other sacred cities also had some powerful geniuses. For example, the Myriad Swords Pavilion. Other than Myriad Swords Pavilion, there was another person with terrifying strength. Lu Xuanqin. He was a secret genius nurtured by the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Now, he had revealed his talent. At this moment, he was facing the 3 great sage lords. With a single slash of his sword, he forced the 3 great sage lords to retreat. Third, the great sage knew that he was no match for them and took out the token to save his life. Get lost. Lu Xuanqin waved his hand, and 3 tokens floated in the air and flew toward him. A smile appeared on his face. This time, he was going to let the heavenly smiting myriad worlds know how powerful it was. The 3rd great sage retreated, his face pale. To be honest, they were unwilling to accept it, but what could they do? The other party's strength was far above theirs. They couldn't withstand that sword strike. If there were a few more sword strikes, their souls would probably be destroyed. Truly terrifying. Who would have thought that there would be such a terrifying expert aside from Wang Jianyi? Just as the token was about to fly into Lu Xuanqin's hand, the situation suddenly changed. Between heaven and earth, a horrifying sound wave rang out, causing the heavens to crumble and the earth to crack. In the distance, the 3 great sage lords who had yet to retreat felt an intense impact on their souls, as if they were about to be torn apart. What a terrifying sound. Who was it? They came back to their senses and looked into the distance, only to see Lu Xuanqin roaring. Sword chi burst out from his body, shrouding his body like a ray of light. At the same time, he sneered and said, "Who dares to attack me?" No one appeared between heaven and earth, but the sound wave was even more terrifying. Lu Xuanqin snorted coldly, "You don't know what's good for you." As soon as he finished speaking, he drew his sword. The sound of the sword rang out, and a dazzling sword light appeared, crisscrossing. It swept across the 9 heavens and 10 lands, completely sealing off the entire space. With one slash, heaven and earth were destroyed. Finally, the sound wave disappeared. A figure walked out of the cave. To think that he could block my sound wave. Interesting. That person was half human and half demon. He was extremely terrifying. After the 3 great sage lords saw the sword Dao, their pupils shrank. They didn't expect it to be the Azure Sky Rock. This was an extremely frightening expert. He didn't know if this genius from the Myriad Swords Pavilion would be able to resist those people outside. Seeing this scene, they were also shocked and started discussing. Inside the space, Lu Xuanqin narrowed her eyes and sneered when she saw the other party. I was wondering who it was. It turned out to be a demonic beast. A mere demonic beast dares to be arrogant in front of me. Kneel down and accept your death. Along with her voice, the entire space was completely pierced by sword chi. The terrifying sword chi seemed to want to tear the 9 heavens and 10 lands apart. The Azure Sky Rock was originally disdainful, but when he saw the terrifying sword chi, his pupils shrank. I didn't expect you to be able to master the mysterious heaven sword formation. No wonder you're so arrogant. The azure sky rock was indeed shocked. The mysterious heaven sword formation was a very terrifying sword formation in the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. It was very difficult to master. It was said that even the 10,000 Swords Pavilion couldn't master it. He didn't expect the person in front of him to have mastered it. It had been 3,000 years since it appeared. Now that he had mastered it, it was truly terrifying. I didn't expect you to be a sword genius. Since that's the case, then forget it. I don't need to compete with you. I'm pressed for time. With that, a pair of terrifying wings appeared behind the azure sky rock. He spread his wings and was about to fly. Now wasn't the time to fight. However, Lu Xuanqin sneered. You think you can come and go as you please. Once my sword formation is out, I'll use you as a sacrifice. At this point, the terrifying sword chi in the surroundings kept on ringing. One after another, sword shadows appeared between heaven and earth. They were like divine swords that could split the heavens and earth. The sword chi that filled the sky slashed forward. You're courting death. The azure sky rock's face sank. He didn't expect the other party to be so arrogant. Very well, then I'll see if the mysterious heaven sword formation is as powerful as the legends say. With a roar, he carried the heavens on his back and charged over. A picture of the heavens formed on his back. It was abnormally terrifying. It was said that the azure sky rock could carry the heavens away. One could imagine how terrifying it was. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. One was a terrifying mutated beast, while the other was using a lost technique, the mysterious heaven sword formation. The power of the two was unparalleled. The three lords of the great sage in the distance were instantly sent flying. They looked at the scene in the distance with pale faces. Fortunately, they had decisively handed over their tokens. Otherwise, they would have been killed long ago. The spectators outside were also shocked. They didn't expect that there would be hidden geniuses in the second stage. They already knew about some experts in the first stage. They originally thought that the second stage would be a battle between them. They didn't expect that the people in the second stage would be even more terrifying. Every one of them was incomparably terrifying. Whether it was the azure sky rock or Lu Xuanqin, they were both extremely terrifying. However, some people frowned. The mysterious heaven sword formation was indeed extraordinary. The azure sky rock was probably in danger. No way, right? The picture of the azure sky rock couldn't suppress the sword chi. Some people couldn't believe it. Chapter 42-45. Not long after, the blue sky painting shattered and was torn apart by the sword chi. The azure sky rock's body was also pierced by the sword chi, and blood splattered out. Countless people exclaimed in shock. Lu Xuanqin sneered. You're nothing much. With a roar, the black heaven sword formation became even more terrifying. Sword chi danced in the air, trying to tear the azure sky rock apart. Roar! An earth-shattering roar sounded. The azure sky rock transformed into its true form and launched a peerless attack. It tore apart a corner of the sword formation and quickly fled. However, it was very miserable. Half of its wing was cut open. Blood flowed and dyed its huge body red. Fortunately, it was talented. It activated its bloodline and directly fused with the heavens and disappeared. The spectators were shocked. Defeated. The incomparably terrifying azure sky rock was actually defeated. Is this the legendary Black Heaven sword formation? It's too terrifying. Did you run away? I'll definitely kill you next time. Lu Xuanqin snorted coldly, retracted the sword formation, and flew into the distance. Suddenly, she saw a terrifying sword light cutting through the void in the distance. It's senior brother Wan. She was overjoyed and couldn't help but speed up. Soon, she saw a few figures standing in front of her. One of them had an aura that was even stronger than hers. It was Wan Jinni. Senior brother Wan, Lu Xuanqin shouted. The people in front turned their heads. Wan Jinni also smiled. Junior sister Lu. He waved his hand. Lu Xuanqin flew over. The two sides met up, and the people around them praised. Senior brother Wan and senior sister Lu are unparalleled when they join forces. No one can fight against us. The group of people attacked aggressively, and no one dared to stop them. They collected the tokens very quickly, and in the end, they only wanted to eliminate the enemies. Finally, they saw a figure in front of them. One of them slashed at the sky with sword chi, but the other party dodged it. They were surprised that the other party could dodge it. No one could block it before. They knelt and begged for mercy, but the other party didn't seem to be like that. Interesting. I've finally met an interesting opponent. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion smiled. Lin Xian frowned. Although he had the ancient mirror, there weren't many people from Wushuang City. There were only 11 of them, so it was more troublesome to gather them. However, he did not expect to run into people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. When the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sent out a sword chi, he instantly dodged it. In the next moment, he was surrounded by 10,000 Swords Pavilion's people. Lin Xian's eyes glinted coldly. You want to fight? He ignored the others and stared at Wan Jinni. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were also stunned. They didn't expect it to be the other party. They were greatly surprised. They knew about Lin Xian. After all, the sword fanatic had caused a ruckus and eliminated many experts. Wan Jinni's eyes also emitted a biting cold killing intent. Although he didn't know the other party was very threatening. It was better to get rid of such a potential enemy as soon as possible. The people who were watching the battle outside were stunned once again. Then, they burst into exclamations. They did not expect that the two great powerhouses would meet so quickly. No matter if it was the sword maniac or Wan Jinni, they were both extremely terrifying. Besides, there was also Lu Xuanqin, who had made a name for herself. When the two sides met, an unparalleled battle would definitely erupt. Some people from the sacred city let out a cold smile. Great, this kid is definitely dead. Indeed, Lin Xian was alone, while the 10,000 Swords Pavilion had many people, not to mention two great sword experts. In a one-on-one battle, who would be stronger, him or Wan Jinni? Some people started to discuss. The elder from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sneered. How could he be a match for Wan Jinni? He couldn't even defeat Lu Xuanqin. That's right, who does he think he is? He will definitely die when he meets the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. The elder from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion was very confident. Lu Xuanqin also narrowed her eyes and looked at the person in front of her. She also sneered. You must be the sword fanatic. You were so arrogant before and even dared to attack the people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion. Now, how are you going to die? Lin Xian glanced at her and said coldly. Who do you think you are? Do you have the right to speak here? Get lost. Let Wan Jinni talk to me. Lin Xian didn't care about the other party at all. In his opinion, only Wan Jinni was worthy of his attention. Lu Xuanqin's face sank completely. He dared to look down on her. Unforgivable. An unparalleled aura erupted from her body. Kid, you dare to provoke me. Senior brother one doesn't need to do anything, I can deal with you. As she spoke, she strode forward. With every step she took, countless sword chi formed under her feet. After 5 steps, the sword aura that filled the air sealed the entire space, completely shrouding Lin Xian. It was about to start. Everyone was excited. They didn't expect Lu Xuanqin to make a move so soon. Lin Xian also revealed a look of surprise when he sensed the sword chi. His strength is not bad. He looked at her again and said indifferently, "Tell me your name." "I don't kill nameless people. My name is Lu Xuanqin. Remember that I will be your nightmare for life." Lu Xuanqin shouted angrily and endless sword chi exploded. "You really don't know what's good for you to go against our senior sister Lu." The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion behind her sneered. Wan Jiani didn't make a move. In his opinion, Lu Xuanqin was enough to kill her opponent. Lin Xian struck out with the blue dragon seal. A dragon's roar was heard between heaven and earth. A huge dragon danced quickly and collided with the terrifying sword chi. Like a comet colliding, the sound of the heaven-shaking squad was heard. The sword chi was all sent flying. However, even the blue dragon's shadow was penetrated. One could imagine how terrifying Lu Xuanqin's sword chi was. Kill! The sword chi turned into seawater and surged in all directions. Lu Xuanqin's face was gloomy. She wanted to kill her opponent as soon as possible. Lin Xian was also surprised that his opponent could block his blue dragon seal. He was really surprised. Interesting. He struck out with the blue dragon 9 palms again. Terrifying power exploded. Every palm had the power to destroy heaven and earth. Both sides were evenly matched. Interesting. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile. The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion behind him were all shocked. They knew how terrifying Lu Xuanqin's strength was. Her simple attacks were enough to kill a saint venerable of the same level. However, her 2 strikes couldn't do anything to her opponent. The people watching the battle outside were also surprised. This sword maniac was indeed strong. They wondered who would win this battle. The situation seemed to be getting more and more confusing. Lu Xuanqin gritted her teeth. Her opponent's strength was beyond her imagination. Lin Xian said, "Your name is Lu Xuanqin, right? I'll remember it. You're worthy of my full strength." The people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion didn't believe that Lu Xuanqin didn't use her full strength. Lu Xuanqin snorted coldly. "Don't be so arrogant. I didn't use my full strength just now either. I'll let you see my ultimate skill." As she said that, she formed a seal with her palms. Countless sword chi flew out and formed a sword array around her. Chapter 42-46. They could feel the power of the sword formation. Lin Xian was also very surprised. He felt a sense of danger, and his eyes suddenly lit up. He had never seen this kind of formation from the other saints of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion before. In fact, he didn't know that this formation had been around for 3,000 years, and no one had mastered it. Lu Xuanqin was the first. When the 10,000 Swords Pavilion saw this scene, a hint of envy and jealousy appeared in their eyes. This showed how powerful Lu Xuanqin's talent in the sword Dao was. Slash! Lu Xuanqin roared. Suddenly, the black heaven sword formation began to rotate, transforming into thousands of sword chi that charged forward. The world shattered, and terrifying laws rushed into the sky, accompanied by a shocking killing intent. Everyone was stunned, and the people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion also clenched their fists. The fist was too powerful. The sword maniac would definitely die. Lin Xian took a step forward and waved the tiger demon fist to resist. He used the army destroyer, sky shattering, and formation spirit one after another. Then, the fourth divine ability appeared. Demonic transformation. The roar of a tiger sounded between heaven and earth, and the demonic clouds churned with an extremely terrifying aura. The two divine abilities collided between heaven and earth. Lu Xuanqin's palms kept forming seals, and the black heaven sword formation changed, forming millions of sword god phantoms that quickly charged out. They tore the tiger demon fist apart. Lin Xian used the laws of wind and thunder. Countless storms on his left formed a wind sword that bloomed with incomparable light. On his right, an ice and thunder sword formed with a destructive aura. The wind and thunder swords slashed forward. They collided with the phantoms. At the same time, Lin Xian also formed seals with his palms. He used the laws of the five elements to form the five-element sword formation. Boom! At this moment, his sword intent erupted, and a terrifying sword light cut through the void, forcing all the millions of sword god phantoms to retreat. The people of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion were stunned. The spectators outside also sucked in a breath of cold air. The sword maniac was indeed a top swordsman. Under everyone's nervous gaze, Lu Xuanqin's black heaven sword formation changed again. It turned into a sword shadow that reached the heavens and slashed down, breaking apart the wind and thunder sword and the five-element sword. Even Lin Xian was surprised. His figure flashed as he used the wind to shake the 9 heavens and quickly dodged. At the same time, he said, "Your swordsmanship is much stronger than I imagined. No wonder you dared to stand against me. However, it is still impossible for him to defeat me." Lin Xian's eyes shone with a terrifying light. In the next moment, an astonishing sword intent burst forth. Obviously, he was going to go all out. Hearing this, Lu Xuanqin was shocked. Did the other party want to die? However, when she felt the sword intent, her expression changed. How was that possible? Could it be that he hadn't used his full strength before? She was completely enraged. She formed a seal and the mysterious heaven sword formation erupted with a violent force. It swept out. One sword shadow after another formed between heaven and earth. The power formed by the combination of these sword formations was incomparably mysterious. First slash of the black heaven. The giant sword that reached the heavens was held by a hand. Then, it slashed down crazily, as if a god was really angry. The power of the mysterious heaven sword formation was terrifying again. Probably not many sacred venerables could withstand it. Only the older generation could withstand it head-on. When the spectators saw this scene, they immediately exclaimed. Indeed, Wang Jianyi's nerves were also tense. To be honest, he felt threatened now. Lu Xuanqin was younger than him. If she was allowed to grow for another 100 or 200 years in the future, she might really surpass him. This shocked him greatly. Could its power still be increased? Lin Xian was surprised. He saw that Lu Xuanqin had already activated the sect convergence sword. It was obvious that she had strengthened the power of the formation. Thinking of this, he also waved his hand, and a biting cold aura burst out. A flying sword appeared in his hand, which turned into tens of thousands of sword chi and rotated crazily around him. Sword kinesis technique. At this moment, as he moved, all the sword chi began to tremble violently. At the same time, a low dragon roar sounded from within his body. Those sword chis seemed to have transformed into huge dragons that suddenly roared towards the sky. The terrifying power caused the entire space to tremble violently. At this moment, even the people in the distance looked up. There were peerless experts fighting. Go quickly. They were scattered all over the world, but at this moment, they were gathering in the same place. What a terrifying sword chi! What a terrifying power! Lu Xuanqin was also surprised. To be honest, other than Wang Jinyi, she didn't care about anyone else. She didn't expect this sword maniac to be such a threat to her. So what? She was extremely confident in the mysterious heaven sword formation. This was a sword technique that no one except her had mastered. With a roar, a flash of light appeared in her eyes. Then, the giant sword slashed down crazily. Boom! A gigantic sword clashed with countless terrifying sword shadows. Then, tens of thousands of thunderous roars erupted. The world completely shattered, and the surrounding people of the myriad sword pavilion kept retreating. They couldn't withstand this power at all. On a mountain peak in the distance, the azure sky rock's eyes were filled with shock. This was the aura of the mysterious heaven sword formation. Who was fighting with the other party? He had experienced the power of the mysterious heaven sword formation before. Even he couldn't withstand it. Now, an even more terrifying swordsman had appeared. Thinking of this, he quickly retreated. The mountain peak that he was originally standing on also cracked. Crack, crack, crack. In the sky, countless cracks appeared on the heaven-reaching sword, like a spider web on one side. Then, with a cracking sound, the sword light turned into countless laws and scattered in the sky. The heavenly sword shadow was directly shattered. Countless people were shocked. They didn't expect Lin Xian's sword technique to be so powerful. How was this possible? The elders of the myriad sword pavilion were stunned. That was the mysterious heaven sword formation. How could anyone break it? Lu Xuanqin kept retreating, and blood flowed from the corner of her mouth. Her face was full of shock. She couldn't believe that it was the mysterious heaven sword formation. It was her most powerful ability. But now, it had been shattered. Damn it, what kind of sword technique is this guy using? Why is his sword intent so powerful? At this moment, he felt like he was in a dream. He roared like crazy. Boss! Lin Xian waved his hand, and countless sword chi descended again, sending Lu Xuanqin flying. Then, he said, "You're not my match. However, your strength is not bad. Judging from your talent in the sword Dao, you might be above the myriad sword one. Why don't you submit to me and I'll take you in as my disciple?" To be honest, Lin Xian was also surprised. Although he wasn't as strong as her, he didn't expect her to be so young and beautiful. It really shocked him. He could tell that this sword technique was very terrifying. Even the myriad sword one wouldn't be able to do it. Otherwise, the other party would have already used it during the previous battle. With such talent in the sword Dao, he had the heart to cherish talents. You want to take me in as your disciple? Lu Xuanqin was so angry that she almost vomited blood. Was he older than her? What kind of joke was this? She was a top genius, and she felt that he was slapping her in the face. Chapter 42-47. Kid, don't be too arrogant. Kill me if you can. Lu Xuanqin gritted her teeth and said. Lin Xian shook his head. Your sword will be even stronger in my hands. The people from Wanjian Pavilion went crazy when they heard that. Even the saint ruler of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion had an ugly expression on his face. What a load of nonsense. Wan Jianyi rushed up with a murderous aura. He said, "Junior sister, don't listen to him. He wants to destroy your cultivation. This guy is too despicable. Let's kill him together." Together. Lu Xuanqin was stunned. The spectators were also shocked. No way. Wan Jianyi came in. Is he not confident? To be honest, Wan Jianyi's face turned cold when he saw Lin Xian's strength. He was confident. However, it was very troublesome. He might even be able to defeat him. However, he might not be able to kill him. He had to get rid of such a person as soon as possible. Therefore, he decided to join forces with Lu Xuanqin. This guy is too despicable. We can definitely kill him if we join forces. However, Lu Xuanqin hesitated. Although she was arrogant, she had never thought of joining forces with others. In her opinion, geniuses would not bother to join forces with others. Unless it was a team battle. She really didn't want to fight two against one like now, so she said. Before she could finish, Wan Jianyi said, "No buts. If I let this guy go, there will be endless trouble." In order to survive, she had to kill him. How shameless. Lin Xian sneered when he heard that. This Wan Jianyi is indeed ruthless. Now he wants to join forces to kill me. Wan Jianyi, are you not even qualified to fight me one-on-one? How dare you call yourself a sword genius? In less than 3 years, you will be surpassed by this junior sister of yours. Kid, no matter what you say, you won't be able to escape death today. Wan Jianyi pulled out his sword. He activated 10,000 swords and an extremely terrifying aura burst out. This power was even more terrifying than Lu Xuanqin's. Lu Xuanqin did not make a move, but the 6 experts from Wan Jianyi pulled out their swords and fought in 6 directions. They followed Wan Jianyi's orders and would not let Lin Xian escape. Lin Xian's face darkened. Since the other party wanted to die, he would fulfill their wish. Although he was in a very dangerous situation now, facing 2 top-notch experts and 6 experts from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, he was still in a very dangerous situation. However, he was still not afraid. At most, he would use his trump card to reveal his identity to everyone. When he thought of this, his eyes lit up. A terrifying sword intent appeared on his body. It soared straight into the clouds. From the looks of it, Lin Xian was also about to make a move. However, at this moment, a voice rang out from the sky. Bullying with numbers. Do you really think that there's no one left in Wushuang City? As soon as he said this, the faces of the 10,000 Swords Pavilion members changed. Even Lin Xian was stunned. The people from Peerless City had arrived. Who was it? Was it Senior Brother Fu or Senior Brother Ling Hu? He raised his head and saw that it wasn't her. Instead, it was a man in green who descended from the sky. His face was unfamiliar. However, Lin Xian knew that this was one of the senior brothers of Peerless City. When Wan Jianyi saw that it wasn't Fu Hongye, he sneered. Just anyone dared to come and seek death. Kill him. As soon as his voice fell, the 6 experts unleashed a terrifying sword chi and rushed towards the other party. Not good. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. He didn't know the strength of this young man in green. The young man in green said coldly with a calm gaze. Thousands of mountains, flying away. Countless mountain peaks appeared between heaven and earth, enveloping the 6 sword saints. Then, black phantoms flew out from the mountain peaks. They were like sharp blades, covering the sky and earth. There were at least 10 million of them. In an instant, the 6 sword saints retreated. Countless bloody holes appeared on their bodies. Their bodies were dyed red with blood. In the blink of an eye, they were seriously injured. So powerful. Everyone's pupils constricted. Wang Jiani was also stunned. Lin Xian was the same. He took a deep breath. What a terrifying supernatural power. It seemed that this person should also be a top-notch genius. Who are you? Wang Jiani gritted his teeth and asked. He didn't expect Peerless City to have such an expert other than Linghu Chuexue and Fu Hongye. I'm Lu Yuan, the third disciple of Peerless Saint King. Wang Jiani, you're a top-notch genius on the pilgrim list. How can you be so despicable now? You want to fight me with numbers? You can try now. Lu Yuan stepped in the air, and an extremely terrifying aura erupted from his body. Wang Jiani's face was very ugly. They originally had an absolute advantage. However, Lu Yuan's appearance directly injured the 6 sword saints, causing them to lose their advantage in an instant. It was just Lu Yuan. If they really fought, Wang Jiani wasn't afraid at all. However, in the next moment, his face became extremely ugly. That was because at that moment, another ethereal voice sounded. Oh, someone wants to bully Peerless City. As soon as this voice was heard, everyone's soul trembled violently. They felt that their souls were about to split open. Even Lin Xian took a deep breath. What a terrifying soul expert. Moreover, it was someone from Peerless City. Everyone looked up and saw a woman walking over in the sky. She was wearing a black dress. Like a flower that bloomed in the netherworld, her hair was snow white. The two contrasting colors on his body were incomparably strange. Her eyes were black and white, as if they were yin and yang. Her appearance caused the entire world to become oppressive. Who was this person? Everyone was shocked, and so were the elders of the sacred city who were watching from the outside. Did Peerless City have another top-notch genius? Impossible, how could there be so many geniuses? Who are you? Wang Jiani gritted his teeth and asked. He felt that the other party's cultivation was ordinary, but her eyes were too terrifying. That was an eye technique, and her soul was extremely powerful. It was a great threat to him. I am the 6th disciple of Peerless Sage King, Yu Ruo. The mysterious woman's voice sounded between heaven and earth, and countless people took a deep breath. Another personal disciple. How many disciples did Peerless Sage King take in? The people of Wang Jiani Pavilion had ugly expressions. The people of Acheron Hall and Great Desolation Mansion also looked gloomy. Damn it, they were too careless. They had underestimated Peerless City. They didn't expect Peerless City to have so many hidden geniuses. Yu Ruo stood in the void and said coldly. Wang Jiani, you said that you wanted to fight as a team. Alright, let's start now. As she spoke, an extremely powerful soul storm swept over. Wang Jiani roared and activated Wang Jiani's body to defend himself. Lu Xuanqin also used the Black Heaven Sword technique to cover her body. The 6 injured sword saints also wanted to defend themselves. But soon, their glabella cracked and their souls were destroyed. Are they dead? Wang Jiani gritted his teeth in disbelief. His opponent's soul was so powerful. The people outside were also stunned. This person's soul is probably close to the middle stage of the Holy Venerate realm. Lin Xian was also shocked. Isn't this too powerful? Even his heavenly secret divine eyes felt a pressure. He didn't know what kind of eye technique the other party had cultivated. His senior brother had taken in so many geniuses. He didn't know about it before. That's right, a team competition. Lu Yuan also laughed. Looks like we haven't fought for a long time. Time to let them know how powerful we are. Wang Jiani was furious. What a joke. He wanted to fight as a team battle because they had the advantage. But now, the other party had more experts than them. It would be very disadvantageous for them to fight as a team. So he snorted and stared at Lin Xian. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.